listening. And now you better back down, cause I'm coming for you. Better back down, cause I'm coming for you. Better back down, cause I'm coming for you. Better back down, cause I'm coming for you.
Good evening, Overwatch Tranquility community. Welcome to our Harmony Tier Finals. It's an exciting night of preparation, we have had months of preparation that have led to this moment for these two teams. I'm SkiFreeYeti, and joining me in the analyst desk today, we have Booth. Welcome, Booth. How's it going?
It's going great. I am crazy excited for this game today. I've had the pleasure of casting throughout the playoffs, being able to do a lot for both of these teams. They've both, I don't think many people expected either of these two teams to be here. Maybe themselves, of course. But at the beginning of the season, I don't think many people would have expected, especially after the first games these two teams played, that they'd be here today. So really excited what they have in store for us.
Indeed, it's an exciting time for both of these teams. Lots of preparation is built to this moment for them, and it is a well-deserved finals appearance for both of them. But there can only be one winner, so let's break down the teams. We are going to start with your number 4 seed, the Holy Jalapenos. Tell us a little bit about them, Booth.
Yeah, the Holy Jalapenos have really just had an all-star kind of start to this playoffs here. They've dominated throughout. So going down through their DPS line, we have first off the Mallard, MVP in the Harmony tier. You cannot mention the Jalapenos and not mention what Mallard has been able to do for them. But alongside Johnny Robot, probably one of the strongest DPS lines they had in the tier here. A very strong support line as well. We had Needle coming in as an all-star player, the Bork and Meeples, and then Torb Only and Bethcon have been a very underrated tank duo and have really shown up here in the playoffs and done a great job.
Absolutely, without question. The Holy Jalapenos have had an interesting run getting to where they have, taken down both the Jetpack Cats and Maelstrom to get to this point. But we do have both another team and another analyst joining us tonight. Joining us from the analyst desk, coming in between maps, we have Literose. Welcome, Literose.
Hi. It's really great to be here seeing these two teams that I've watched all season. I've had a couple familiar teammates go on Holy Jalapenos, so rooting for her. Unded Battery just looks kind of crazy.
Aren't you playing favorites a little bit? Well, let's make you play a little, or be a little more versatile here. Tell us about Undead Battery.
Undead Battery is kind of crazy. They have one of the best tank lines in the entire tier. They've got Impers, who's been a staple of Tranquility since the very beginning, and Terractin, who is really big. They've gotten much stronger after picking up Terractin and Abe, who was the former captain of Spare Change. So these DPS lines really have been crazy, as Crimson also made All-Stars. And I think going off of Terractin again, it's kind of crazy that he's partially like Dev. That's crazy to me.
Absolutely, it's a crazy thing that he's capable of doing that so well. Really quick here, Booth, I want to hear from you. What is the matchup that we're going to be looking at the most here for these two teams?
So for me, I think it's going to be a matchup of DPS. Mallard, Johnny Robot, Crimson Abe. That's going to be the storyline here for me. I do also think that there's going to be a pretty strong tank battle. I think that Undead Batteries have one of the strongest tank lines here in the tier. And it's really time for them to kind of show up here and show up against the big dogs what they can do.
Absolutely. I do think it's going to be a good opportunity for Torb Only to step up. You know, he always gets touted as somebody who's kind of been lurking in the shadows behind the Mallard and Johnny Robot. Now is his opportunity. He's got two opposing all-star level tanks. But we're going to head first to Nepal, an exciting match, and we are starting in the Sanctum. What do you think here? What are you expecting? We got a new meta, new patch. What are you expecting to see?
Yeah, I really don't know what to expect. I've been trying to like gauge out what these strong heroes are in this patch. I don't think anybody knows the meta. I mean, even if you like see people asking some of the pro players on their Twitch streams, like, what's the meta? What's the meta? And I don't really know if anybody knows yet. So I'm excited to see if teams are going to stick to what they've been running these last couple of weeks. Obviously, it's gone very well for both of them. Making it this far, you kind of have to know what you're doing a little bit with the bunker comps. And it looks like very similar on the side of Jalapeno so far. I mean, I don't know why you would take Mallard off of May and Robot off of the Doomfist, especially on Sanctum.
Right, absolutely.
But Yeah, but also see Teractin there over on the signature Reinhardt, and a little bit of an interesting comp for them. I don't know if I would have picked those 6 right off the bat.
I definitely wasn't expecting this. Crimson is a bit of a McCree specialist, definitely a hit scan guy. Abe, on the other hand, very flexible, bringing out the Junkrat, maybe expecting the shield break to be a big factor here. And we are off on map 1 of the Harmony Tier Finals. Right now, both teams are going to be jockeying in, and you expect, of course, the Wrecking Ball to be in position looking for those early boops. And they're going to go into the room here on the left side of the point. And right now, Bork is taken extremely low for some early poke. That splash damage coming in big from Abe, and that barrier's already down. Lots of damage coming in onto Teractin, who's being forced to pull back. Punch coming in, not connecting for Johnny Robot. Right now, we do see the point presence being taken by Undead Battery as the first kill goes to Climate on Needle. And it looks like Undead Battery has taken the point. Holy Jalapeno is quick to reset. Abe picking up a 3K there at the very end. He's almost to his rip tire. Big plays there from Undead Battery.
Yeah, great job for them. They kind of just were pushing into point. They didn't jump down right away. They kind of waited. They let Climate go on the Wrecking Ball at the end, get that big dive in, which is enough to finish up a couple of the heroes that Crimson got pretty low there. So Abe going to open up with a tire, hopefully, here for them. The Bork is going to have ult pretty early on here, but no other ult's really going to be in play for this first fight.
Rip tire could very easily decide this first one. Team's poking out. We see that shield health being a big factor right now for Teractin, perhaps adjusting to that new shield health nerf. That's got to be affecting his playstyle without question. Right now, Crimson also close to an ult as Climate picks off Mallard, the MVP of the Harmony Tier, down early as Bork blows the ultimate here as well. And it doesn't look like Undead Battery, or doesn't look like, sorry, Holy Jalapenos is going to really be able to get anything going as Abe is continuing to carve them up. And they only burn their support ults here.
Yeah, they didn't even have to use the tire, so they have both their DPS ults ready, and Climate can be very close to the minefield here as well. Teractin can have the shatter. That's 4 pretty big ultimates there. Some of those can win fights alone, let alone having all 4. Getting up to 60% already. Still no ultimates. You see switches coming over inside of Holy Jalapenos now, going over to the Rein Zarya, the Reaper here, and maybe that'll help them out.
Big mines. Great play by Torbo, only quickly sweeping the mines though. But Climate, it doesn't matter, takes up Bork. Climate is playing an expert level on this Wrecking Ball right now. And Abe, it does pick up Torb only as well. Johnny Robot gets the first kill for the Holy Jalapenos here, and he gets 2. Johnny Robot popping off on a signature Doomfist, looking for an opportunity to try to take back the point. He's dropped very low, and he's taken down by Demel on that Baptiste. Last fight here for Holy Jalapenos, and they're down Johnny Robot.
Yeah, but I still say push in here. They did get 2 big picks, so they still have the advantage on the 5v4. Oh!
The All-Star Needle to the big pick. Well, Crimson comes in with his High Noon, looking for an opportunity. He's going to take out no one there with that High Noon. Torb only taken down by Teractin, but it does look like Undead Battery is going to have to reset here finally.
Good job there on the side of Jalapenos. They really didn't have to use any ultimate fight there, but I think that was really Johnny Robot getting those early 2 picks and the fight starting out there, and then they had that advantage on the 5v4, and they were able to push in, and now we see Climate going Zarya. I do like that pick for them. That's going to let Teractin be very aggressive, and they still have this tire here from Abe to open up with, coming up with the shatter as well, and Demo getting close to the window.
Holy Jalapenos do have a bit of an advantage here, but on the ults, because they do have that sound barrier. Needle was looking for another pick. Here comes the tire coming in. Oh, and he picks off 2. That could be all that's needed here, but Needle does get the pick onto Abe with that sound, or with that boop. Teractin, however, picks off Johnny Robot. There's no DPS here for Holy Jalapenos. Oh, and the big stun on a Torb only from Crimson stops that ult. Torb only can't do anything. He is taken down by Crimson. And right now, it looks like Holy Jalapenos are in dire straits. Needle trying to stall it out as long as possible. Mallard right now is going to have to sneak in here on fading onto the point for the poke. We see High Noon coming in from Crimson. Gets 3! Crimson with a big play. And Undead Battery looks situated to take this point.
Amazing job then for the end. Crimson picking off 3 with that big High Noon, and the massive stun taking out the ultimate on the side of Torb only.
Torb only gets a pick there on a Seb, and Needle gets Abe. That's 2 down on Boops. Is it going to be enough, though? No, it is not. Undead Batteries take the first map here, or take the first point on Nepal. Interesting stuff there, Booth. What do you think? What stood out to you? Was it the tank play that was fixing things up there, or was it just good DPS play from Abe and Crimson?
I think both the DPS and the tanks are doing fantastic, but I think you got to really give it DPS there. They seem to really carry over through that fight. Needle, I also want to put out 4 boops there on Lucio. That's kind of Lucio's every dream there on Sanctum, to get all these boops off. Not enough for them, but that was a very highly contested 143 there. That seemed like a 199 kind of a around there to me. So I'm hoping we see that again here. We do see a pharmacy over on the side of Undead Batteries now. Abe going over to the Pharah, and no hit scan here on the side of Holy Jalapenos. Maybe you're going to see a switch from Mallard over to the McCree that he's also known for. Needle going over to the Brigida as well. So they're really just going in as a big bunker here. Death Volley. Don't dive us. We'll just end you.
It looks like the Undead Battery did a good job of getting prepped for this. They expected them to stay in the meta, or the old meta. Oh, and Bork is taken down right away by Abe on that Pharah. That's some huge plays by Abe, who's already to 50% on his ult, and it's already a reset for Holy Jalapenos. Undead Battery rolling over them.
Yeah, that's one really strong thing about having Pharahs here like this in these bunker comps. They can get a hit in there. Abe, oh my goodness, picking up all the staggers in at the end. And Abe is, yeah, 90% already on the ult here from Abe. That's
impressive. That is so very impressive. He never received any pressure. Mallard finally makes the changeover. That's the key here, I think, for the Holy Jalapenos. They need Mallard to come up big on that McCree right now.
They do, but they do already have the barrage from the side of Abe, and they're going to be looking to use that early on here, win another fight. And I do like the pick for them, but that's that danger of not running a hits game on a fire pound.
Here comes the barrage. Barrage finds no one as Johnny Robot takes out Abe, perhaps a little too low on that ult. Johnny Robot gets Terractin as well, but they do get Abe back up, and then slowly but surely, one by one. Oh, actually, Johnny Robot picks up 3, but it does look like that the Undead Battery are going to be able to hang on just barely here, losing a few, but managing to hang on. Again, running that Orisa Reinhardt to very strong effectiveness, but you got to say that Abe's presence right now is just kind of controlling this map.
It really is. It's putting so much pressure on the healing backline. They have to play really close to these shields here and try to push through. It made Needle switch back over to Lucio, which was a good pick. They definitely weren't mobile enough running the Brigida. And they're going to have ultimates here on the side of the Undead Batteries as well. Look in the back here for Crimson to come into the backline early on.
Oh, and a lot of damage again coming in on Holy Jalapenos. They're not able to adjust to the amount of splash coming in. Mallard does get Crimson, so a little bit less damage coming in, but Seb is just rolling through them with that beam. Who says Moira doesn't take aim? Good job there from Seb. Abe takes out 2 more, and it just, again, Holy Jalapenos have to reset. Undead Batteries just looking incredibly strong right now.
Very strong, and ticking up to 80% now. This is going to be one fight territory here. We see Mallard going over to Widowmaker now. They really want to put Abe out of comfort zone here on the pharmacy. And they still have the Shadow. Traction hasn't been able to use it yet, and they do have the Valkyrie for some more sustained damage. And watch out for Crimson getting very close to the Death Blossom here too.
Right now, it looks like Crimson is very close to that Death Blossom. We see the Shatter coming in, picks up only Torb only, but it could be just enough right there. Last fight coming in, Abe with the barrage from behind, puts a lot of damage in, but nobody falling. But it doesn't look, oh, there comes the Death Blossom from Johnny Robot along with the sound barrier, but it just shielded off. And here comes Crimson's Death Blossom, who takes out Needle. And it looks like, once again, Holy Jalapenos just don't have enough. Undead Battery look to be settling in here and look to be taking down Nepal. Torb only trying to draw this thing out, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Mallard falls again. They're just not able to get any positive momentum going. That ult picks up nobody. And we do see a bit of a reset opportunity here as Abe takes himself down. But still, just one by one, they're falling as Crimson and Abe continue to just absolutely dominate this. And Undead Battery convincingly takes map 1.
They did. They looked so strong running that Orisa Reinhardt composition there, and the Rein Zarya on the first point as well. Maybe it seems like they've adapted to this new meta so far. They've found their niche in there, and side of Holy Jalapenos are kind of sticking with what they know, and it looks like Undead Batteries did a very good scouting. They seem like they're ready for it.
They do. They're doing a really good job. And honestly, they're just, it's surprising how little pressure came out onto Abe. The only time he really seemed to be pressuring was when he accidentally killed himself on the main building. And then also when he dropped slightly too low on his ult. It's just, it's an absolutely dominating performance. Light Rose, what did you see here?
The DPS for Undead Battery are doing work. Every time that Abe would falter, like you said, Crimson would be right there to pick up the slack. I mean, I don't know how many times he had the flank on like Sanctum, but he was the Reaper, he was behind, and they just couldn't take care of him. The support and the tank line for Undead Battery are making space, but it seems that Holy Jalapeno really can't handle the flank. Either they're not calling it out, or they just don't have the right comps. And I'm talking about comps. Undead Battery, it's with this new meta, we don't really see a kind of comp that we're reliant on. So we can kind of see crazy comps, which is what we're seeing from Undead Battery, and it's working so far. Holy Jalapenos don't really know how to bust the comp. So Undead Battery is really running over them. And that splash from the Pharah, that Reaper is just absolutely dominating them. And Holy Jalapenos need to find a way to counter the DPS and just kind of work on sticking together as a team, calling out the flanks, especially on Crimson. Crimson is being an absolute nightmare right now, and seeing if they can win this next map.
No question on that. It's worth pointing out, and I'm going to point this out too, because I had the privilege of playing Undead Battery in the first round on my team Karma. We took the first map against them, which was Nepal. You know, that's a humble brag. But since then, they have now won 9 maps in a row in the playoffs. That's honestly an incredible achievement for a 6th seed. They're playing very well. It's not something we've seen really from any team, even Commit. You know, they have looked very strong, but this is Commit level in the Harmony tier that we're seeing right now from Undead Battery. They look absolutely dominant right now, wouldn't you say?
100%. Right now, they do look unstoppable. They have so much synergy together.
What do you think adjustment-wise that the Holy Jalapenos could do with regards to their comp? You know, you mentioned the comp wasn't really working. Do you think they need to do something with their tank line? Do you think Mallard needs to provide some different looks on DPS? What are you thinking?
I do think the McCree is a good pick, but you need to... It seems like right now he's the one doing it all. You have to find a CC on the Reaper. I have to find a hit scan on the Pharah. If you're doing that, you have to provide him with so much more support. I don't know if that's changing the tank line, getting more heals. It's just, if you're reliant on Mallard, you need to protect him.
Absolutely. And we do see some subs coming in here, Booth. What do you think here about the substitutes from both teams? We see Meebles coming in for Holy Jalapenos and a couple changes for Undead Battery as well.
Yeah, we see basically a tank swap here coming on the side of Undead, Kuchikopi and Impers coming in. You know, I do like some of the swaps here. We're going to go to Hanamura, which, you know, we do see a lot of Mei picks here again. I think that's might be in Holy Jalapenos' favor here. You know, the Mallard being a very strong Mei player for them. Maybe going off of this Reinhardt Orisa on the side of Undead. Maybe that's what they're expecting, and that's why they're taking Teractin out here. Maybe going with an old-fashioned Orisa Sig. I think Orisa Sig is still going to be very strong on some of these 2 CP maps, and maybe not a bad pick for them here on the defense.
I think Orisa in general right now is still being seen as kind of a must pick just because of how survivable she is in this current patch. We do see coming out actually right now, it shows an Orisa Ryan from Undead Battery again. And going over towards Holy Jalapenos, we're seeing as well the Orisa Ryan. Interesting. This is something people kind of theorized when the patch was first discussed.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. I do like it here with the Symmetra for Abe as well, because that is just so much brawl and just straight up damage going right in. Because you have both those shields, then you don't really need to rely on like the Sigma barrier that you used to when you ran symmetric comps like this. You go forward with the Reinhardt, you teleport, and you have a whole massive barrier just waiting for you, ready to go again, and then your Orisa can throw down. So that's so much sustain to get to the point. It's really going to be up to Holy Jalapenos to break that teleporter before they can set up.
Exactly, and we see Holy Jalapenos with a very forward position here. I'm wondering if maybe they were expecting the bunker comp, so they were going to run the teleporter strat, because honestly, it's going to be tough for the teleporter strat to work here when they're this close. And they're going to try it anyways, teleporting onto the point, and it does work. The wall didn't come in time, but Johnny Robot is taken down right away by Impers on the Reinhardt. They do take down the Immortality field. There's not much left here for Holy Jalapenos, and they do have their own field up. It looks like the Undead Battery are in control yet again. Abe on that Symmetra just proving to be too powerful. And look at all the alts building up on Undead Battery side. They're going to be at 4 alts likely for the next push here.
Wow, and they're going to have such a massive timing to push in here too, but I don't even know if they're going to need it. They're going to try to push right into point with all these ultimates. You got to like their chances.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they baited out the Immortality field of Meeple so early, and it just seemed like Holy Jalapenos got split up, and they just weren't prepared for the Symmetra strat, even though they were holding in the perfect place for the Symmetra strat.
It's just unbridled aggression we're seeing right now from the Undead Battery that seems to be paying off for them. Impers going in so deep into the enemy backline. He is frozen, but he is still alive. He's hanging on through it. He shatters at his dying breath, but it is not enough, and it looks like he does fall. Bork keeping his whole team up, but Torboni is taken down by Abe. Abe fully charged right now, looking for picks. Crimson's taken down by Needle. 1 DPS left. Undead Battery right now taking control again. We only have the Mallard left on point. He's going to try to draw it out, and he cannot. Torb only now coming in on the Wrecking Ball. Huge plays from Abe on that Symmetra there, and again another pick on a Torb only. The death throws right now here for Holy Jalapenos. Needle comes in with his ultimate, and he's just not finding any picks at the moment. He is taken down right away. We see the tire coming in from Johnny Robot. Only gets the Immortality Field. The ult comes in from Mallard. It might be enough just to delay this a little bit. He gets a pick onto Crimson and Seb, and yes, they are going to be able to reset with a pick onto Abe. They have no DPS left, and Undead Battery is going to have to reset. An insane fight, an exhausting fight. I need a drink.
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit of breath here and break that one down a little bit. So good job for them. They were almost able to get almost 2 ticks here. And the scary thing is they still have 4 minutes and 4 seconds, and they have 4 ults again almost. Demo getting close again on the window, up to 75% now. And not much really going to be here. Bork's going to have the ult on the side of Jalapenos, but they're not going to have much. They had to use basically everything. They had to use the tire, and they had to use the Blizzard to win that last fight. So Undead Batteries are pushing in with the time bank and the ultimate. So I do like the positioning here from Johnny Robot on the point. Set them a bit of a crossfire for him. If they can break that Sem teleporter early, maybe not all of them can get through.
Interesting teleporter there. We see an instant reaction from Holy Jalapenos to get back onto the point as Needle picks off Crimson. That was a really smooth rotation there from Jalapenos to get reset, and they're able to heal up through a lot of this damage. The lamp is keeping everyone topped off for Undead Battery, and Abe is taken down by Bork. That's a big kill as Abe's been pouring in that damage on that Symmetra. Johnny Robot picks off Impulse. We see Meteor Strike come out into the middle of the crowd from Crimson, not finding anything, but he does get the punched onto Johnny Robot. Crimson trying to find a way to carry this thing on his own, trying to punch back in yet again, looking for anything he can possibly do, and he gets nothing. Bork takes him down. Nice fight there. Good defense from Holy Jalapenos with the early defense despite the distinct ult disadvantage.
Yeah, fantastic job. I think maybe a little bit of a miscommunication on the side of Undead. They kind of used the supercharger and the window at the same time. You don't always need to really double damage boost there. They weren't able to increase the tick meter much at all. I don't think they were able actually to at all. So Impulse is going to have the shatter here, but Ultimate should be rotating around a little quicker here on the side of the Holy Jalapenos. And 3 minutes now, still a large time bank, still a lot of time for the Undead Batteries to come through here, but defense has looked very strong so far on the side of Holy Jalapenos.
It really has. They're doing a really good job right now trying to hold off his last point. Johnny Robot with that rip tire, expecting to be the critical piece. And we see Meebles does have the sound barrier as well. Those pieces are going to come in very handy for the Jalapenos as they continue to try to draw this one out. Both teams right now feeling it out. Undead Battery with firm control of the high ground with Abe on that Hanzo. Very scary situation for Holy Jalapenos. They need to make a move right now. The longer this sits, the more of a disadvantage they're at.
Yeah, their shields are just getting shredded down on the side of Jalapenos. They kind of have to hide in this room you see here, and they're going to give the side of Undead a really good chance to jump in. Here they go. They're going right into it.
That said, I will say they're giving Holy Jalapenos a lot of time to build up ults, but Abe takes out the Rip Tire from Johnny Robot. We do see Demo's Immortality Field taken down by Needle. That might have been too early of an Immortality Field, and it does look like Holy Jalapenos are starting to turn this one around. Big ult coming in from Crimson, picks up 2, and Kuchikobi picks off Johnny Robot as well. It's a big play there from Crimson to try to turn this one around. He's uncontested on the high ground, picks up a 3rd. Needle's taken down as well with Bork. Actually, Needle comes in with the Gravitron to try to draw it out a little bit longer. Might have been a good play there, but the Immortality Field keeps everybody alive. Right now, Holy Jalapenos is able to get some bodies back onto the point and reset, but Demo picks off Johnny Robot. Needle finally takes down the Crimson, who came up huge on that fight. We do see the arrow come in, perhaps too little too late from Abe, and it does look like Holy Jalapenos are just going to hold this one out. But Undead Battery not yet giving up. Maybe they reset a little sooner there?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit sooner. We do see a couple of switches. Impulse going over to the Sigma now, going off of the Ryan Risa back to the Siga Risa. Still, I mean, they almost got that 3rd tick, but you got to give it to Holy Jalapenos. This has been like a 5-6 minute hold so far, and only a minute left. There's not really too much fight time left for the side of Undead. Maybe take, especially how they did that last fight. You're going to expect them to try to get some more poke here, maybe try to get a pick. You maybe think this is almost last fight for them here, especially because that last one, they kind of stood up on the high ground for about a minute.
Yeah, this is definitely last fight territory. We do see Mallard with that Blizzard as well. That's the critical piece here. Crimson in a flanking position, though, is going to pour in a lot of damage. They're going to need to deal with Crimson as quickly as possible. Mallard putting a lot of pressure onto him and forcing him off. Mallard has a premium opportunity here to get tons of value off of Blizzard or even just his primary fire, and he is getting a lot of that value right now. We see a Coalescence coming in from Seb, as well as the Bongos coming in from Kuchikopi. They're committing everything into this fight. The sound barrier comes out from Meebles as Holy Jalapenos trying to withstand the barrage. Johnny Robot gets Kuchikopi. High Noon from Crimson looking for the pick. He gets Bork. Right now they have, there's Abe picks off 3 with 1 Storm Arrow. Huge play from Abe coming up big on that one. And there's the team kill. And 12 seconds left. Undead Battery. And Abe takes that point.
Wow, that was fantastic. Abe getting the kill just before the Blizzard went off, negating the ultimate there. Wow. If that Blizzard would have landed, that might have just given Holy Jalapenos enough time to come back through. So Abe coming in clutch when they need it. And 12 seconds left. Whew. I mean, side of Holy Jalapenos, though, you gotta take that as a little bit of a win. I mean, there was like 6 minutes he had to hold second point there. And 12 seconds, that's still some time, but I mean, it's not 4.5 minutes. They held twice with the side of Undead coming in with 4 ultimates, but still they got the 2 ticks, and they got the 2 points, and that's really what matters for the side of Undead.
I genuinely hope we get to see that play either in a clip or in a highlight from Abe or something, because that was impressive. Seeing 3 kills from 1 Storm Arrow cooldown. I can't believe that. That was clutch. That was clutch from both Crimson and Abe. Right now, I think they are clearly outperforming Mallard and Johnny Robot. I don't think there's a question about it. They seem to be way more prepped for what's going on today.
They do. I don't know if it's just them maybe running these slightly different tank compositions so far, but I mean, Abe and Crimson have just seemed to be on a different level than what we've seen. We come normally to expect that of the Jalapenos coming in, having the DPS running on a different level for them. Still a lot of time. I mean, we saw kind of a slow start for the Holy Jalapenos in the second round against Maelstrom, where they lost the first 2 maps and came through with a decisive 4-map in a row win at the end to take the game. So still a lot of time for them to push through here. Again, this is first to 7. So I mean, the first to 4. So we have the possibility for lots of maps to come through here.
Exactly. Holy Jalapenos is by no means out of it. They got to turn it up a little bit, though, in order to get there. You see Abe looking for an opportunity to wall them off. Not finding anything quite yet. It looks like Holy Jalapenos, they are wise to your plans, Abe. They are not falling for this one. They're just hanging out by the choke, trying to get everybody topped off. We see Bork already over halfway to his Coalescence. It's going to be big. They're looking for an opportunity to teleport in, and they get it. They teleport around to the stair side, looking for an opportunity to come into point, and they are in. They're quickly breaking through that shield and that wall, but Needle is taken down almost immediately, but they trade main tanks. Meeple's taking down Kuchikopi. We see the lamp come out on Undead Battery side. Crimson and Johnny Robot both getting into each other's back lines, taking out the opposing team. Johnny Robot finding a support, though. That could be the critical piece as Bork pops Coalescence. Coalescence comes out from Seb as well. Perhaps a little bit unnecessary here, as it looks like his team is desperately behind. Crimson is taken extremely low and down, and Seb is taken down here as well. Oh, now he's taken down as well. That's that very sneaky Moira, and Holy Jalapenos return the favor on point 1.
Yeah, great job for them here. Not going to have too many ultimates, so it'd be kind of tough for them to take an early switch here, but that's going to give them a pretty big time bank here. And as long as they can cap this and have a enough of a time bank advantage over the side of Undead, it can look very good for them. So they don't see Mallard doing the TP strat over on the left side of point that you normally see with symmetric comps, but they're just going to TP straight into point from the mid.
I like that play. That's a good choice. They're forcing Undead Battery's hand. They've already captured the tick onto the point. We see the window come out, but Abe's taken down. They lost some value from that window immediately. The shatter comes out, doesn't connect with anybody. 8 ults coming out from everyone here. Everybody using everything, but the one thing that is sticking is the Mallard with a 4K. Coming up big on that Symmetra. And right now, Abe is the last hope for Undead Battery, trying to get back on the point. And with 5:47 in the bank, actually it was 5 minutes, but now it's 5:47 with the 1 minute adjustment. Holy Jalapenos answer the call.
Wow. Fantastic job on the side of the Holy Jalapenos. No ults coming into that fight and just decided we're just going to build it up. We're going to TP straight to point. We don't need to go to the right side. I'm a grown Symmetra. I'll do what I want. Going in and getting a 4K in that massive
That is your MVP.
Mallard. Yeah, that's why Mallard was our MVP. A fantastic job there on the Symmetra, just melting through that double shield. That is kind of a downside over on the side of what the Undead batteries have been running. They're running a lot more shield health with the Reinhardt and the Orisa. That gives us a lot of room for Symmetras to come into play here.
And they did make the adjustment here. They brought a lot of aggression in. I definitely think that was a good choice. They needed to up the aggression a lot. I said it right at the beginning of the map, and they did. And they brought it right to the Undead battery, forcing them to react to what they were doing. An absolute great play from Holy Jalapenos. Undead battery need to pull off an excellent attack here, as the time bank is significantly in favor of the Holy Jalapenos.
I do like their composition here. We don't see a hit scan. We see Mallard over on the Torb, actually. Not too often we're seeing Torbs in this meta. No McCree to deal with this hit scan on the side of Abe. They have a lot of space here for Abe to take some crossfire and really pressure out a lot of the abilities on the side of the Holy Jalapenos. Maybe trying to bait like an early immortality field on the side of Meeples, which can open up for Crimson to teleport right into the team of Jalapenos. But they're just going to hold on point. Not a bad choice, though.
Definitely the right idea with Abe on that farm mercy that's given him so much trouble. Can we get a hammer kill? Anyone? Please? Yeah, anyway?
I'm for it.
I'm all for it. Johnny Robot forced a Wraith form away as they do telly up to the high ground. And I do like this move. A nice rotation, getting over to the high ground. Frees up a lot of space for Abe to work from the open side of the map on the back side over the pit there. And right now both teams jockeying out on either side of the bell. We see a lot of damage coming in as Johnny Robot looks to try to get in the back line. Doesn't connect with anyone. Actually, correction, connects with two, and Needle finds a third. And Undead battery is taken down quickly. They're not going to have enough time here to get a full contest in. Abe is going to have to jump in at the very last moment here. We see Needle almost at Earth Shatter as well. This is going to end before it begins, it looks like. Abe comes in, trying to find some sort of value here. He's taken down by Johnny Robot. Ooh. Big play from Impers, though. Not going down without a fight here. Impers trying to find some environmentals on that Wrecking Ball, but Mallard picks up two more. No hammer kills, though. I'm disappointed.
Maybe we should have put it in chat or something for him to see it.
We probably should have. I think we dropped the ball on that one.
Well, good job there from Jalapenos. 5 minutes and 47 seconds to get a tick. You definitely got to like their odds with that, especially of how quick they took it the first time. But maybe an interesting attack plan from the side there of Undead. I liked the rotations they did. They kind of took the Torb turret out of play there, but I think they needed to be more aggressive before the Torb could reset back up. Kind of just waiting, trying to get some picks, maybe trying to wait for Abe to get some more poke in the back, but maybe just not aggressive enough for them. But they're going to have to prove here on defense that they still want to win this map here. A lot of time to hold. That's very... You see full holds happening here, but those are 4-minute full holds.
I think I would have liked a different angle of attack from Abe and just set up a complete crossfire on them. They could have completely sandwiched them there. I think that would have been a wise play, but I don't actually, in the end, I'm not here. They are here. They deserve this, and I don't. So, good for them. But anyways, great play there from Holy Jalapenos to take this, take that defense, take the full hold on the secondary defense. It's 5 minutes, 47 seconds to get one tick. You have to think this heavily favors the Holy Jalapenos here, right?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of are favoring it just based off the first attack alone, let alone looking at the time bank included here. I like the comp here. They have a lot of times to make switches if it's not working out for them. Maybe Abe on the Junkrat could be very big. Abe doing a lot of work earlier into a very similar composition, but Mallard going to be on the Symmetra again, absolutely ripping through the side of the Undead batteries on that second point there on the Symmetra. See if he can do it again.
Oh, look at this telly strat. Oh, but Bork fell off. He could be in big trouble if Undead battery reacts, and they are. Bork is in dire straits, and he's taken down. That's a big play there for Undead battery, taking down Bork so early. But nonetheless, the aggression is ongoing from Holy Jalapenos, but they've lost now both healers. There's no heals left for Holy Jalapenos, and they're going to have to reset. Put a lot of damage in from Crimson and Abe. Abe, 90% to Riptire. Crimson, 65% to his ult as well. Lots of ults coming online very soon for Undead battery.
Yeah, that's very good for them. They're going to have to do a great job about rotating these ultimates and not throwing them all out here because they have to hold for a very, very long time. I like that opening TP strat there, but maybe they should have waited. After losing Bork that early, you're not going to break a team in like this, not having your Moira heals there.
So I honestly would have liked it if they just tellied out.
yeah, I would have too.
Can't blame them for trying, but the aggression, I love the aggression. Torb only picks off Crimson. They did a great job isolating him out there. See A bringing in the Riptire, finds nothing. Crimson is down. They only have 1 DPS left, but it is a strong one. And Junkrat, the window, really forcing them to have to back off. And they are taken down. Just too much poke from Demel and Abe. And so much damage coming in, but they're trying to reverse it. Needle picks up Seb and Impulse, and they have 3 down now. This actually is heavily favoring the Holy Jalapenos very suddenly with the respawn advantage. Demel's trying to escape from Johnny Robot, and he does. Holy Jalapenos are about to fully reset. They drop the wall across the point. This is a situation where Undead Battery is going to need to reconvene, and quickly. Kuchikopi is in big trouble. High Noon coming in from Crimson, only gets Needle. Torb only gets Crimson there. 1 by 1, slowly but surely. Johnny Robot actually picks up 1 with his ult, but he is taken down by Impulse. Undead Battery not going down without a fight, but it looks like they only have a couple left. Big shatter from Impulse, taking down both Mallard and Bork. He gets Mallard. He's trying to find another kill onto Torb only. He can't get it yet, but Bork's take down Seb, and Bork also gets Impulse. Abe trying to pull it back out on, picking up the kill on the Meebles. Undead Battery definitely not going down without a fight here. It's an impressive fight here from Undead. They're continuing to try to draw this out, but Torb only picks off Crimson, and there goes Kuchikopi as well. And they have nothing left to contest. We are tied 1-1 after Hanamura.
That Symmetra teleporter was so massive on the side of Mao there. Anytime that Undead was able to get a pick in that like 2-minute long fight we had there at the end, they were able to respawn, be closer than the opposing team, and then take the teleporter in. And yeah, we don't get to see that Storm Arrow, but I think this is also a well-deserving play of the game here, melting 4 on that second point attack.
It was a great play there. It was a great play there. I loved what I entire time. I have to give credit to the heart of the Undead Battery not giving up on the point. They drew that thing out for a long time. Oh, and we have an MVP card in play. MVP from Demel there. That's a big deal. Don't often see one of those in one of these matches. But Lightrose, what do you have to say about that map? Definitely tuned up aggression from Holy Jalapenos.
Definitely. And with aggression, a lot of times what you see is a Symmetra. And if there's one thing that is Symmetra, you need to kill that Symmetra. The longer the Symmetra is alive, this applies to both teams, because Sims were run on both teams. You need to kill her, because the longer that she's alive, the less likely a fight is going to go in your favor, just because the amount of damage that she puts out. And she was a really big factor why Holy Jalapenos won this. I mean, you saw Mallard on that Symmetra with that play of the game, absolutely microwaving people. And that was just a really big factor. The battery supports did a really good job of keeping the fight alive by keeping the tanks up, even in unfavorable positions. Impulse, for example, there were certain times where he was kind of in a sticky situation, but the supports of Undead Battery did a really good job of supporting him and keeping him up, keeping the fight going. Sometimes they lost, sometimes they won, but it's still that really good job of keeping your tanks up.
One thing I want to point out there is we did see something we haven't seen a whole lot of, and that's a different main tank from Holy Jalapenos. Needle on the Reinhardt. That's right, the all-star support, the all-star Lucio player, Needle, bringing in the Reinhardt and bringing it in pretty well.
I did think, I was like, hold on. Needle just got boops on Nepal. Is he playing Reinhardt? That was really confusing, but Holy Jalapenos got the W, so I mean, you can't really complain.
It's an interesting, good flexibility there from Needle to be able to turn over to the tank and really do a great job standing up to Kuchikopi and Impulse, that really great tank line from Undead Battery. Teams right now prepping here, and Lightrose, it's time to go to King's Row.
Yes, this is a great map. I'm sure we're going to see some great plays from both these teams. More skill involved. Mallard, Abe, Crimson. It's gonna be a great map.
Who do you think this map favors? Which of these DPS do you think would have a best opportunity to pop off here with their play styles? Do you look at like the close quarters fighters like Johnny Robot and Crimson, or do you think some of the more mid-rangey players like Mallard and Abe are going to be favored here?
I think it depends on what style of comp they want to run. You could obviously see first point, that Widow being run first, especially with these shield nerfs. Widow's obviously going to have more of a sight line, but you could obviously do what Holy Jalapenos have been doing and really just being aggressive, which worked on Hanamura. You could be aggressive on King's Row and kind of get that more close combat, that Doomfist, Symmetra, Junkrat.
I definitely like the aggression from both teams right now. It's definitely a different pace than we were seeing before in the old double shield meta. Is it a new double shield meta? Yes, it certainly might be, but nonetheless, we do see both teams kind of cranking it up right now. It feels a lot more like goats. Lots of aggression from both teams, and right now we're just waiting for the readies from both of them. It's definitely some interesting stuff coming from both these guys. I have to say, are we in for the long haul here, Lightrose? I feel like we're looking at a 7-map set.
Honestly, I'd be perfectly fine with that. Both of these teams are here for a reason, and they want to show that they deserve to win. So anytime that they get down, they want to get right back up, sucker punch right to the jaw, bring them back down, get the W on the map.
It's a critical map here without question. Going up 2-1 makes it a lot easier to pull off some big, or to get to the end. So we do see King's Row here, and a couple subs coming in here, Booth, it looks like, for Undead Battery again, rotating out their tank line.
Yeah, we see Traction coming back in. You definitely like that with the Reinhardt here. Don't think I need to be the first one to tell anybody that Reinhardt is good on King's Row. I don't know if you ever noticed that.
I've heard rumors that he works okay on it.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a meta kind of built around it for a while. I forget what it was called. I think it was called The Mighty Ducks or something.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I liked that one.
Yeah, Emilio Estevez, amazing. Anyways.
Oh, yeah. So when I casted the last Holy Jalapenos game, they had a very cool Bastion strat that they did, where they teleported on top of the Zenyatta head on attack. So maybe we're going to see that. Oh, they're on defense first. So hopefully we don't see that on defense, or it'll be a very quick King's Row.
Very quick King's Row.
But, you know, a couple teams have, I think I've seen a couple teams doing that now, so maybe they're expecting that. We do see Mallard over on the Widowmaker, though.
That's exciting.
That is very exciting. A good map for it. A good map for it.
You finally see a bit of a Widow duel here. Mallard taking on Crimson. Both very, very good hit scans. It'd be an exciting matchup to see. And we haven't seen really a Widow duel in Tranquility, I believe, since Season 1. So this is a good sign of things to come here. Thank you, Goats meta.
That's right.
All right. Crimson looks for a couple picks. It looks like both teams are just kind of feeling each other out, but Mallard does get Crimson. Mallard, the MVP of the Tranquility communities in the Harmony tier, looking strong on that Widowmaker, trying to find more picks now. Crimson, will he make a change? He does not. Stick with the Widowmaker. But we do see Undead Battery, nonetheless, still staying aggressive. Crimson and Mallard are still fighting with each other while the main fight is going on the point. We see a tick actually given up by the Holy Jalapenos. Maybe didn't need to give them that much, but they are still pushing back into them right now. Needle does get Tarakton, and we do see the wall come out from Abe. Doesn't find anything. Abe right now is incredibly vulnerable. Ooh, and the Coalescence comes out from Undead. Maybe unwarranted here, but nonetheless, they are trying. Mallard picks off Demo, and that could very easily be the end of this engagement, losing one of their main healers. And yes, one by one, the Undead Battery is falling, and they are retreating quickly, but not so fast. Halt, says Orisa, brings back 2 of them, and it looks like they're going for the team wipe, and they get the team wipe. Bork picks up 3 with that Coalescence.
Yeah, the Mallard making some very big picks early and late in those fights. Seem to be winning that Widow duel. We actually don't even have the Widowmaker on the side of Crimson. Going over to Reaper now, which the Reaper's not a bad pick. I kind of like this real death ball to get in there. We see Climate going over to the Winston. This is something you saw them do against Illusion, running the Winston alongside of another main tank, and worked pretty well from them here. I'm not sure what it's going to do now. Maybe that's just their answer to Mallard here on the Widowmaker.
It's just looking to try to get Mallard out of his comfort zone. Meebles takes out Abe, and Mallard gets Climate. And so much for that Winston, not able to get anything done. And Holy Jalapeno is just pushing back on Undead Battery. Too spicy for the Undead Battery. They continue to try to fall back, but not quick enough as Johnny Robot picks off Tarakton. They need to reset harder, and they just can't. Again, the Halt forces Crimson to have to back out with his Wraith form. Mallard's just too big of a threat right now. They made an adjustment to deal just him, and now they switched off again, and he gets another pick. Mallard, just incredible play right now.
Yeah, just really being the thorn in the side here of the Undead Batteries. I do like them switching over here to the Zarya. I don't think there was enough sustain to help Tarakton get a lot of damage in. They are coming up on 4 pretty big ults here. 2 of them up right now. We have the Shatter and the Blizzard. If they can push Hotel, try to negate some of these Widow sightlines, and maybe get an early Blizzard or an early Shatter here, this could be really big for them.
There's the early Blizzard coming in. Are they going to find anything? Oh, Meebles interrupted in the middle of his sound barrier, not able to get it off. We do see Johnny Robot coming in with the Death Blossom, picks off 2, and Needle gets another, and Needle gets two, actually, pardon me, and it is taken down there. Needle with a third on that Reinhardt. Who is this tank main all of a sudden? Holy Jalapenos continuing this strong hold on King's Row.
Now Abe going over to the Widowmaker too. They can't find an answer for the Mallard here. But the one thing Abe
found the answer.
There it is.
There's the answer. Is he going to switch off right away? No, he stays on there. He stays on the Widowmaker. But look at the aggression from Unded. They recognize the opportunity and they're looking to take it. Tarakton looking for the shatter. He does get the shatter off, but he doesn't find any value. Nonetheless, it's still put enough fear into the into this Holy Jalapenos, and Unded takes the point.
Great job there from Abe, getting the pick when they needed it, and that's really all it took to get through on their side. Taking out Mallard early on. Meeple's going down again early in that fight, losing the beat in the fight before. They definitely needed that one with Traction Shatter coming in. And Undead Batteries, great job stabilizing there. They definitely seem to be a little out of their comfort zone with the Mallard there and the Widowmaker, but doing a great job focusing, coming back together. And now we're looking for a long second point here. No real ultimates besides the beat for the side of Demo here, so going to be a pretty brawly fight here.
Without question. A good job there from Abe. Kind of an unexpected Widowmaker. I think that was kind of a critical piece of that. We do see Crimson have to Wraith out, but he does have his Death Blossom now. We look to him to get some value coming out of the Mega Health. But oh, they read him like a book, and Johnny Robot takes him down. We see a Graviton come in, but not finding any value from it. It looks like whole Undead Battery one by one is being taken down again.
It was maybe a little bit of a misclick there to throw out the Graviton. Climate didn't die in that fight, so is going to have the high energy going back in here again, but you know, they sure would have liked to have had that here with the Death Blossom they have up. And now Holy Jalapenos have a much better advantage here. You see Mallard taking the high ground and shooting in the spawn, but Abe, getting the pick.
Abe trying to answer the MVP right now, and he's doing it, but Turbo only gets Seb before he can get that ult. We do see a sound barrier come in from Demo as they're trying to get aggressive on this, recognizing that they're running low on time. Demo with that sound barrier, they're not able to push in and get any more kills, but Seb is on his way back. Crimson picks off Johnny Robot. They can continue to stay aggressive now. Abe's positioning is incredibly aggressive. Needle tries to engage with him, and he does take him down. Torboni picked off Tarakton as well. Great aggression there, recognizing the players out of position from Holy Jalapenos. And Undead Battery is forced to reset, perhaps foolhardy, a little bit of hubris there.
Yeah, maybe going a little bit too far, and they actually stopped pushing cart for a little bit. So you see the cart being just behind that normal last choke point you have here, going into second point. So a very good spot for the side for Holy Jalapenos to hold, though.
Mallard is in deep trouble here. I'm sorry, Crimson is in deep trouble here. He's trying to get out. He was in a duel with Mallard, Widow versus Reaper, and it ended in a stalemate somehow. Still trying to figure that out. But anyways. Both teams right now. I'm sorry, go on.
They have a good positioning here. I wish they'd hold a little bit back. This is pretty far forward for them. They have a lot of space to give, but they're just going to go right in on them.
Needle tries the shatter, doesn't find anything with it. Tarakton looks for his own shatter. Oh, the Johnny Robot comes in with the Death Blossom, gets nothing as Mallard is taken down by Abe again. Mallard answering the call on that Widowmaker. Seb picks off another one with that Coalescence. He's getting great value on his Coalescences tonight, but Holy Jalapeno is trying to turn it around, taking out Demo and Crimson, but the big Earth Shatter from Tarakton looks to be enough. Tough acting Tarakton turns the fight around. Undead Battery set up for point 2.
Abe got a great positioning there, was able to put in a lot of crossfire, and Needle had to decide, am I going to block this Reinhardt swinging into me? Am I going to side charge Daria or the Widowmaker shooting in the team? So good job there from Undead again. Pushing through, minute and a half to push in. They got to win this next fight here decisively, and no real ults up yet for them that are going to be terribly offensive. So they got to take out Torb only Supercharger early on here and try to build up some more ults. We still do have high charge here from Climate, but losing Seb early, that's going to hurt.
That's unfortunate. Undead's got to try to charge up a little bit of ults, but they need to get out with their lives before more ults continue to come online for Jalapenos 4 going into the next fight, and there's only going to be a sound barrier for Undead. Undead looks to be in big trouble here. They need to get a hard reset in. They're trying to go through the pipes, and Undead Battery recognizing the opportunity, they're going to go take it. Oh, they do actually bail out at the last second here. Oh, and a big Graviton, but Needles answers with a Shatter, taking down 2 of his own. Interesting ultimate placement and aggressive play style here from both teams, and Undead Battery come out on the positive here. Torboli is trying to run and flee, but he's not able. Oh, but the big boop, or big halt takes off Tarakton. he is able to take off Terractin, and that's actually a pretty big play here. They can get aggressive on the recontest.
It's very aggressive and a great play for them. Now they're going to have their shield here to push in, but Johnny Robot might get caught up on top. No, he's able to just get away, but Needle can push forward here and take a lot of space, and they should do this. Terractin gets back.
Johnny Robot may have gotten too aggressive there. We see Torb only take out that Bongo. I'm sorry, Torb only Bongo taken down from Abe. Sound Barrier comes in from Demel as Undead Battery again gets aggressive, and Crimson in the back, spinning like a top, taking down 3 of Holy Jalapenos, and Undead Battery, against seemingly all odds, takes the entirety of King's Row in overtime.
Man, they want to make this a close one for us. Cutting down to the wire on both the second and third point there. That's the kind of games you like to watch. Yeah, I don't like watching these games where it's getting 4-minute time banks or teams not pushing all the way. You want to see these bloodbaths here in the end of these points, and they're really giving us a show to watch.
Absolutely. No question about that. This has been an incredible show so far. The back and forth has been insane. The aggressive play styles. What was happening in that sewer? I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. Did they find Splinter? Like, what is happening here?
Maybe they forgot, like they thought that was the spawn or something. They were forgetting where you spawn in. Like that's the first point. I don't know. I've never seen a rotation like that, falling back on a point.
That was so interesting. I love the instinctive play to try to get aggressive, but it punished the Jalapenos in the end because they got pinched, and they got pinched badly by Unded. It was such an interesting play. That's something that I'll definitely be asking Literose about a little bit in about 5 minutes here or so. So we'll see in a second, but it was something to see. So right now we see something that I didn't know still existed in 2019, and that is a diva.
What?
Yeah.
What's diva?
Diva
is not like the hero I used to main or something. What's that?
Yeah, that's a hero that exists in the game Overwatch. It has 2 modes. One is in a mech, and one is in what is called the baby diva form or mini diva form.
Is that different from Baby Yoda form? I don't get all this new stuff going on.
Nice meme. I like it.
Thank you. Nice yeah, I'm up to date with stuff.
Yeah, you stay on top of things. That's impressive. No, and we do see the switch off of Diva because they recognize that Sigma is just a better version of Diva.
Oh, they're doing the teleport strat. Watch the top of the Zenyatta head here.
Oh, they don't have the Symmetra though. It doesn't look like they're going for it here. You see a lot of damage actually coming out onto Undead. They didn't quite recognize that they were going to be going on that with the Bastion strat. It does look like it's kind of catching them off guard. They blow the lamp early. Crimson is looking for an opportunity to get in the backline. Needle taken extremely low, forced to kinetic grasp his way out. He does manage to get out. Terractin looking to get aggressive on the backside of the statue here. It's kind of interesting position right now for both teams. You see kind of a spread strategy from Undead, trying to apply pressure from all sides, preventing Johnny Robot from getting too comfortable, but he's already up to his ultimate just about. We see the lamp come in again from Demel, trying to balance off. Abe picks off Bork, but Johnny Robot gets Abe in return. That's a big play, and Bork is rezzed. Oh, but they do answer. Undead Battery gets very aggressive and takes down Johnny Robot, recognizing they don't have the res. And it just looks like too much from Undead Battery, and they've managed to hold off just barely. Needle sitting on the Sigma right now on point, can't get anything done. Lots of damage coming in from Crimson and Terractin on that Reinhardt. Lots of ultimates coming up from both sides, though. 5 ults and 4 ults, it looks like here.
Yeah, Demel maybe misclicking there at the end, not needing to have that window. Still ults up. We're going to have Climate here. We're going to have the Supercharger, the Shatter for Terractin, which Terractin's made a lot of work here with the Shatter so far. So you got to expect a lot here. And then Abe, if Abe can get out, Abe is going to have the Death Blossom here as well. But 5 ultimates, 6 soon here for the side of Holy Jalapeno. Sticking with the same comp, I agree with it because of all the ultimates they have so far. I do like them rotating here. This is going to force Crimson away. Crimson can't stand on this near high ground and withstand some Bastion pressure.
Right, and right now he's completely inside. He can't apply any pressure at all. Oh, and the window comes out. They're going to be melting through Undead Battery, and they do get Terractin. He was caught out of position. Terractin unfortunately falls. Needle gets aggressive, applying the point pressure as Johnny Robot comes out as well. I like the positioning he's in. Oh, but Abe comes in from behind, tries the Death Blossom, not able to kill anyone, thanks to a great lamp from Bork, and the Blizzard comes in, and the ultimate as well from Needle. Many ultimates coming out from Undead, looking to take the point here and now. Terractin with a jumping Shatter, not able to find anybody as Johnny Robot Ghost Tank form and kills every single one of Holy Jalapenos. I'm sorry, Undead Battery, and Holy Jalapenos are set to take the point.
Oh my goodness, fantastic job there on the side of Holy Jalapenos. Needle coming in so clutch there. The first big pick they had on Interacting was because Needle threw a perfect accretion, stunning the Reinhardt, and was able to get shredded down there from the side of Johnny Robot. Needle having the eat perfectly when Crimson fell in to use the Death Blossom at the end, and with a great lift to take out the last of the shields of Climate. Needle the support coming in and playing better tanks than most of us in the Discord tier. I can say that. I used to be in the Discord tier.
Used to, keyword there, right? I'm with you. Well,
rough playoffs.
Commit, angry face. The pirate ship is set up. Your har fiddly dee. Here we go. But Crimson picks off Meebles. Oh, and the death, perhaps suicide run from Abe, jumping onto the cart on Junkrat, but he causes enough chaos to completely scatter Jalapenos. Yet Torb only picks off both DPS for Unded. Question is, can Unded continue to apply aggression? Yes, they can. They're continuing to jump in on them. Teractin pouring in a lot of damage with that hammer, and Climate a ton of damage on that Orisa. We do see no ults really coming from either team. Just good play there from Jalapeno. I'm sorry, from Unded.
Yeah, good play. I like them backing up here and giving a bit of space. Wait for their DPS to come up. You're not going to really be able to break a reset up Bastion Bunker without having your damage in, especially with the Junkrat being so strong.
See Teractin coming in, big shatter from Teractin, taking down almost all of Holy Jalapenos, and Climate and Crimson cleaning up the trash.
You know, maybe I take maybe I take that back. Maybe they don't need the DPS. I think Teractin is the DPS at the moment.
Well, the way Teractin plays Reinhardt, he is the DPS. He kind of gives you the whole bumper vibe, just a in-your-face style Reinhardt. Yeah, and that's just kind of the way he's always played his Reinhardt, and it's part of the reason why he's an all-star tank without question.
Oh no, Abe! Abe getting caught up top. No, they had the tire too.
And a big advantage. We see the ult coming in, picks off both supports. It could be very bad here for Jalapenos. I'm sorry, for Unded, but they're able to recoup a lot of health. Crimson picks off Meebles and Bork. They have no heals now for Jalapenos, and Crimson, big plays there. But nonetheless, the fight continues to be just trades after trades. Demo picks off 2 on the Baptiste, looking for a third, trying to get Needle. Demo found Mallard there. He's trying to find another. Teractin takes out Needle, and it's just really, really good play from Teractin and Demo right now, trying to help Undead Battery, but it does look like they're going to need to reset. This long attrition fight goes to Holy Jalapenos.
Yeah, even though Undead seemingly winning that fight, they didn't have the respawns quick enough. Jalapenos were able to come back in and get set back up early.
Riptire comes in. Boy, is Fortify insane, because that was right in Torb Only's face and nothing happened. Nerf Orisa. Anyways, moving on to the team fight, we see shields being melted from both sides. Crimson comes in, but he is stunned out immediately by Mallard. Gets no value from that Death Blossom. I'm wondering if we're going to see a switch from Crimson here. He's not finding a lot from that on that Reaper. Good halt there from Torb Only, trying to turn it around. Mallard picking him off with Johnny Robot. Abe gets gets Meebles on his corpse, but one by one. Oh, and Mallard with the 3K. Oh, Holy Jalapenos looking real good right now.
Looking real good, and they're going to have very similar time that Dead had left as well. So even though they weren't able to stop him here for second point, they only are going to have like a minute and 40 seconds really to push through here. And if they can hold him and push it to OT, minute each side, that's going to be a real bloodbath for him. But they got to stop him here first, and they've looked pretty strong here.
Look at the ult situation though. The ult situation is so heavily in favor of Holy Jalapenos. They're gonna have 4 ults to 1, maybe 2 for Undead, but it doesn't matter. They get 1 pick onto Mallard. We see the Riptire come in, gets Needle as well. They're gonna be a full reset from Holy Jalapenos. They're gonna be 1 fight territory, no question about it.
1 fight territory, but with 4 ultimates, so that's definitely helpful for them here. They are gonna have a supercharge on the side of Climate. Not much else. Hopefully
look at Crimson's position. Look where he is. He's trying to find Mallard. Oh, look at this. Oh, he's spotted out by the entirety of... No. Oh, Crimson, you poor thing. Oh, Needle comes in with a shatter. Doesn't find anything with those 2 shields, but it doesn't matter. There's just way too much pressure coming in from them. And they got 4 on the cart looking to push it quickly in here. If they can get another kill here, they'll have prime positioning for the cap.
Yeah, Torb only going very far forward. Any pick they make here, especially that one, detrimental to the side of Undead. They've got to get all their team back. They've got to respawn and push in here because this is going to be just a brawl here with just a couple of meters left on the payload.
4 ults coming in for Holy Jalapenos here. They have a clear advantage, but Demo gets Johnny Robot taking the Death Blossom out. Meebles does pick off Demo though. That is a huge pick. Mallard trying to find a way to stay alive. He's barely, Crimson finally gets the pick on the Mallard. Could be critical, but Tarakton gets 4 on the Shatter. Big play there, but Needle nonetheless answers it back with his own kill with that Flame Strike. Torb only gets Tarakton. Still very much in doubt here what the result of this fight's going to be. We see this Coalescence coming in from Seb, trying to find a way to keep his team up. Needle takes down Demo. Death Blossom coming in from Johnny Robot, finding nothing. Seb's Coalescence runs out. We see lots of Undead batteries just streaming onto the point. Tarakton does get Mallard, but Undead battery is falling, and Holy Jalapenos just eke it out.
Wow, that was as close as they come. This King's Row has been just an action-packed game of Death Volley. I love this new meta. So it is so much more interesting to watch in there with the Risas and just so aggressive. It's kind of got that GOATS feeling a little bit, just pure aggression going right into the enemy team, but the DPS players don't have to complain about having to play Brigida the whole time, so it makes us all happy. 1 minute each side. You got to expect something funky going to come out from one of these teams maybe, because 1 minute's not a lot of time. You basically got to win your first fight.
Exactly. It's basically one fight and done. We expect to see a lot of interesting, or perhaps some interesting types of strategies from both teams here. I'll be curious to see. We see Undead Battery coming in on offense first. The May from Mallard, Johnny Robot on the Reaper. We see, by the way, this isn't a GOATS meta, but guess what we're finally seeing? It's the Brigitte from Meebles. They're looking to brawl.
I don't know how I feel about that. If they're looking for the brawl, it's definitely going to help. But if you lose one person, you got to hope it's Peoples that goes down first, then come back fast on Lucio. Because if not, there's no speed for this team. It's kind of hard to push an Orisa and a Reinhardt around without a Lucio. But I don't know. It could be pretty big for him, though.
I definitely like the idea of brawling a lot more than playing the long poke game here. And it looks like, unfortunately for them, we have a Far Mercy. That's going to be a tough situation here for Holy Jalapenos to deal with. They might need to just give them a tick here, which is going to be very, very big. Mallard goes down immediately from a pick from Crimson. Big plays from Undead Battery, finding the kills they need. They should be able to clean up here. We see so much damage coming in from Tarakton, swinging through like it's one patch ago. So much damage, Tarakton. He's already up to his Earth Shatter. Crimson gets 2 headshots to end it. Undead Battery, we asked for them to get some aggression early on. We asked for that 1 minute cap, and they got it.
They did, and gonna have the Shatter as well. That's fight-winning ultimate there, especially the way Tarakton uses Shatter. And getting another early fight win for them can basically almost assure them a 2nd-point push here, and that would be insane for them to push through here, and that'll put so much pressure on Jalapenos.
We gotta watch that Tarakton Shatter here. That is the critical ult without question. If he can get value on that, they definitely get point. They gotta figure point 2 is definitely in their grasp. Tarakton right now trying to find positioning in order to get that ult off. We see Needle's shield dropping dangerously low. That shield health is a big factor here. Tarakton trying to put in as much damage as possible. There's the Earth Shatter. Finds 3. Oh, where the damage comes in from Abe off the Earth Shatter. They blow every ult they have, but it just did the job, and they're continuing to ride that cart.
They are, and that's going to give them a lot of presence here. Abe's going to have so much space to shoot in. The respawn's coming in on this long 2nd-point walk on the side of Holy Jalapenos. And if Climb can get the lift up here and having the Valkyrie as well, not necessarily fight-winning ultimates in a normal sense, but you got to like their chances still a little bit. They do have the Shatter here from Needle, and a big Shatter will be big for them, but they don't have much ultimates to follow up with it.
And there's the Shatter, but it's blocked expertly by Tarakton. Crimson gets Bork, and Needle goes down as well. Are we going to see a full push here? I would love to see a full push. So much aggression right now from Undead. The ultimate comes in. Climate picks off 2 with that huge gravitic flux. Tarakton drops Johnny Robot, and Mallard is forced to retreat. Incredible play here. Overtime counter still going. Undead Battery is looking strong.
Incredibly strong. Still the supercharger here from Holy Jalapenos and getting close to the Lucio beat, which could be very big if Tarakton get another Shatter up and is able to get through. But they got to win this fight early here. I like how forward they're taking this progress though. It gives Abe so much more room to shoot here on the Pharah and not have to worry about the Widowmaker.
Crimson has sights up. That's going to give him a huge advantage right now. And trying to find an opportunity to get it. We see the sound barrier come in from Meebles, trying to get them a little bit of health, and Meebles does take down Crimson. Abe finally falls as well. Unded Battery's going to need to do it all with their tanks. They say the Earth Shatter came in from Jaracton, not enough to get anything down. That does take down Needle, but it might not be enough as Johnny Robot spins in the back line, takes out Jaracton. Seb right now takes out Mallard. Seb is looking real good on this. Moira trying to find a way to draw it out as long as possible, long enough for Crimson to get back in on the Doomfist. Big play there from Seb, drawing this out as much as he could. We see Crimson pick off Torb only, and he is taken down by Johnny Robot, but Abe gets Johnny. Back and forth right now. Teams trading kills one by one, and the Coalescence coming in from Bork is going to be critical right now, it looks like, but they managed to get the res off onto Seb. They have they have a healer up still with Seb. Needles takes down Demel there, which is a tongue twister. Try saying that fast. And Seb takes down Bork. The Moira being up for Undead is critical then. Both teams just trading like crazy on this point. Neither team finding their footing. No ults up coming yet. Oh, actually Needle with that Gravitic Flux. Taking up several, and down goes Undead Battery. Johnny Robot gets 2. Needle picks up 1 with that Gravitic Flux. Undead Battery not going down without a fight, however. Demel unable to get off the res. Johnny Robot takes him down. So much action in this fight, I can barely keep up with it. Abe was able to charge up his own ult in that, as well as Mallard charging up his own ult. Torb only takes out Abe, and it's just picking at the scraps, but Undead still not giving up. Undead still with...
My goodness, take a breath. I'll take over for a second. It's okay. Abe, insane stall coming through. Jaracton, only one back here on the Wrecking Ball, and maybe they're able to get someone back on the point here, but they don't really have the damage to follow up here, and the respawns are way too close on the side of Holy Jalapenos.
I can't believe this. I went full Cryptic Force on that one, and Johnny Robot, however, goes full rocket on that Reaper. Will finally end that marathon fight.
Wow, that was an overtime fight. Overtime fights at the end. I mean, when you're seeing the stall heroes almost getting 2 full ults off on the side of the attackers nowhere near the respawn, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Abe, I mean, how long was Abe alive there for on the Tracer? That's normal. I mean, when you run out of blinks, you're just a helpless little target, but Abe was able to sustain for so long.
It's worth noting that I have the stream up on another window, and we are on a 2-minute delay. That fight has been going since it ended in actual real time. So it was over a 2-minute encounter, 2-minute engagement, pardon me. This is going to be an entertaining night.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're not getting to bed anytime soon. We're going to be up for a bit, which I am more than okay with, especially here at our Harmony Tier Finals.
Exactly. This is a very entertaining final, setting up to be a very entertaining finals here. Both teams putting on a heck of a show. We do see the wrecking. No, actually some changes going on in spawn. Abe again on that Pharah. Got to respect that choice. They haven't really had much of an answer for it.
No, but it is going to be a lot easier to maybe have a quick answer for that on the offense. You see Mallard starting out on the McCree here too. That's definitely a good pick for them. If Abe goes down, if they can force out an early res, that Mercy is going to be helpful though on their side. But if they can force out an early res and really limit what they have and get another big pick, that could be detrimental for Undead.
Without question, Undead is... I gotta like Undead's position here. They're in a prime position now to take King's Row. We see Crimson again deep in the back line. We all know that Crimson likes to play after having a couple, and wow, boy, does it seem like he has with the way he was playing that positioning there. That said, aggressive charge from Jaracton taken extremely low, but Crimson is able to get Bork. That's a great pick there early on. No coalescence for this fight. Mallard does get Abe, and that's a critical pick. But that being said, they get Abe back off the ground right away. Coalescence comes in from Seb, maybe ill-advised, because now there's going to be a recontest here from Holy Jalapenos the last moment. Oh, but Bork is taken out. That's big play there without a doubt there. Absolutely critical pick there. We see the ult coming in. Is that going to be enough to stop the overtime counter? No, overtime counter is on, but it doesn't look like they can get anybody to the point, and Undead Battery take this point. Take King's Row up 2-1.
That was an insanely well-contested King's Row, and one of the most fun games we've been able to That map was back and forth each way. DPS, tank, sealers, everybody stepping up big. But at the end, Undead Battery's having the fantastic overtime push that was able to push them through and give them the map victory.
It was a great play there. Great plays there from Undead and Holy Jalapenos, both putting on an entertaining show. But Undead in the overtime rounds just came through in such a clutch way. Guys, we're going to halftime here. I want to hear Literose really quick. Just before we get in there, what did you see this round?
I think Undead Battery did an amazing job coming back from really a lackluster attack defense. Obviously, they did their job, keeping them to no time going into the second round, but they really did shine that second time. I mean, taking the second point with only a minute, full holding. It seems that Abe's Farah is causing so many problems for Holy Jalapenos, and they really don't have an answer to it.
They really don't. What would you like to see adjustment wise going into halftime right now from Holy Jalapenos to try to swing this one back in their favor?
It's kind of hard because we are seeing some synergy. I want to point out Meebles is doing great. Obviously, you don't see the off support sometimes getting some love, but he had a great match. So it's really just shutting down that Farah. Crimson is still in their backline with these flanks. It seems that the problem that they had in Nepal came back in King's Row. So if you can kind of play how you did in Hanamura, shut down Crimson, because the tank line, in my opinion, the tank line of Holy Jalapenos really outshine Undead Battery in that map. The Needle, that's that. Yeah, Torb Only and Needle are just doing amazing. They're really doing amazing as a tank. I don't know how many times I can say that. And it's just really coming down to the DPS shutting down Abe and Crimson.
Yeah, I think SkiFree's going to take a little break here. I think that last fight kind of winded him a little bit. I can't blame him to do. But 2-1 here for the side of Undead. Who do you think's really, I mean, obviously Undead being on top so far, but who do you think's going to be coming out on top here at the end?
I think it comes down to Abe, his Farah, Holy Jalapenos to shut that down. That is just a nightmare right now. It's going to see something you're going to see in your sleep when you go to bed tonight.
And we are back from halftime, folks. Welcome back. We have Holy Jalapenos, the number 4 seed, trailing Undead Battery here 2-1. Undead Battery looking really good right now, 2 maps away from a Harmony Tier Championship. Booth, what are you thinking right now? We are 3 maps in. Who do you think has the edge going?
Well, I think Undead Batteries, you kind of have to give them a little bit of the edge here, right? I mean, they've looked so dominant on that first map. Jalapenos doing a great job coming back there, and that last map was so close. It really just came down to Undead having that fantastic overtime push. Well, I mean, of course it came down to them having the fantastic overtime push. That's why they won the map. But I still think it's really close. I think Jalapenos still have a chance to come back here and win this one. I don't think this is going to be a 4-1 game here. They're going to be coming each way.
Yeah, I'd have to say that. Literose, prediction the rest of the way. What are you thinking?
Right now, I have to go with Undead Battery. They're just looking really strong. I mean, momentum's a big thing, but with no really clear way to stop them, they just look to go all the way to the W.
It looks interesting. I said 4-1 Undead on the podcast this week. It's still possible for it to go 4-1 Undead, so I'm going to ride that horse till the end, mainly because I'm worried my throat might give out by then. But if we go map 7 or even map 8 somehow, boy, would that be entertaining.
That would be incredibly entertaining. You know, we can just like throw a Literose in there on play-by-play or something. If you go down, we got people
we'll
in
just
backup.
pick up your dead. We'll pick up your body.
Yep. So somebody make sure to send a stretcher up to Minnesota to make sure to get somebody to me out of my basement. It's going to be horrible for everyone. But it's been so much fun tonight. Match again, the whole season, 15 weeks plus the playoffs leading up to this point. It has been an incredible run for both these teams. Just highlighting Undead Battery's interesting story. They nearly folded in week 2. And it's just an incredible story from them. They kind of got resurrected from the ashes by a collection of people. It was mostly the Imburse and Demo and Crimson and Seb kind of brought this team back with Climate as well and kept it alive. It's a really interesting story.
Yeah, pretty unique here to what we've seen in Tranquility. A lot of teams, when they end up having issues like that, ended up folding. Definitely happened in our Discord tier this season.
Yeah.
So,
Well.
yeah. So, respect to them for not only staying, but making it here to the finals and making a show of it. Up 2-1 coming into Junkertown. A lot of space here for pharmacies. I don't know if you know, payload maps seem to have some wide open spaces. And that's really been the factor, I think, especially there on Kings Row. Can the Holy Jalapeno stop Abe? Abe and Crimson, but especially here, if we see some fire out of Abe, that's going to be difficult for them. If they have an answer for that, you maybe can like the chances of Jalapenos, but if not, Unded's looking to steamroll. And they might be opening up here on a pirate ship comp too. Now that's really going to be up to Holy Jalapenos to break that here early on. In our match last week, we saw them holding basically at the spawn doors. That's definitely what you want to do if there's going to be a Bastion setting up. So we'll see if they take the same approach here.
And we see coming back in the Johnny Robot Hanzo. Actually, no, now we switched to Reaper. So we're back on the May Reaper again. So they do have a little bit of an answer here with that May to be able to handle the damage coming in from the or be able to handle the pirate ship. The question is how much value can Crimson get on that Widowmaker? He's going to have to find some really nice flanks. And look at the positioning right now from Holy Jalapenos. Unfortunately for them, I don't think they realize. I think Crimson knows that they're right there.
Yeah, you kind of maybe heard something, saw someone out of a window, but if they can stop this Bastion before the Bastion setups, that's going to be massive.
And you do see an early positioning here, but Mallard goes down right away from a pick from Crimson from the side door. Great play there. Crimson picks off another on Meebles. Crimson making big plays on that Widowmaker, something we haven't said a whole lot this season about anybody. Abe finding Needle as well, and it looks like Unded's going to be able to get set up on the cart as Climate going in deep on that Reinhardt. Maybe, just maybe, Tarakton is not the only one who can play that Reinhardt on side of Undead Battery, and getting set up now with that pirate ship is Undead Battery.
You know, it's kind of a shame that the Harmony tier is ending this week with finals, because a lot of these teams having these versatile tank players, it'd be kind of fun to see what they ended up doing with the new meta. Maybe you got to stay tuned for Season 4 to see what happens when this meta comes around. But really going to be hard for them to break this bunker here. But they're going to push right in and try to do it.
And they do. Torb only with an aggressive suicidal play. They do manage somehow to get the res off in that cluster. But again, Abe is taken down, and it just doesn't look like anything's going to be able to hang on for the Undead Battery. Holy Jalapenos managed to break the pirate ship, and Demo goes his own way. Undead Battery not able to hang on. Holy Jalapenos doing a great job there, busting that bunker. What do you think?
Mallard having the massive opening pick there onto Crimson. A lot easier to win a 5v6 is to win a 6v6 fight for them. Did you see both support switches coming out, and they're going to go off Bastion now. But they're going to go with the Shatter right away!
Torb only with the flank Shatter. Big play from Torb only. Not just a Torb only. Oops. And he comes in huge with that. Needle finds a kill on a Seb, wrapping it up. A res from Demo. It doesn't look like it's going to really lead to any sort of new value there. And Undead Battery is going to need to reset. Holy Jalapeno setting up night. Oh, Crimson though.
That's a big pick. That's a very big pick for them. The Bork does have the coalescence here. They're about to get sights up on the side of Mallard as well, so they're not going to have that.
But they answered back. No widows for anybody, it seems. Climate comes in with the Earth Shatter, finds Needle, but all of Undead Battery is super low, being pressured down by the Bork's coalescence. Climate right now hanging on by a thread, and he is taken down by the Junkrat trap from Johnny Robot. Undead Battery is fleeing for their lives, trying to get themselves topped back off. Mallard is back on that Widowmaker, and Mallard and Crimson both setting up here with sights. The Widowmaker battle is going to be critical here.
Very critical, and two more switches coming out on the side of Undead Batteries. Abe going over to the Reaper, and you see Climate going over to the Sigma now. They don't really seem to, I really don't think they maybe have the right compositions yet. This seems to be a little bit better, I think, for what they have going in, but Johnny Robot's tire can be massive for them if they come in here and get some pretty big picks early on.
Both Widows blue sights there, both Widows finding nothing with it, perhaps working to cancel each other out. Big flank from Seb on that Coalescence. He's found a lot of value with it. Johnny Robot with the Rip Tire, but Seb's already found 3 with Crimson, and Johnny Robot only gets 1 with that. Torb only trying to get additional, but he charges Climate off the map, and it looks like Undead Battery is going to get map 1 or point 1 here on Junkertown.
That was very big for them. I don't think if they wouldn't have won that fight, I don't really know if the ultimates left to win the last fight contest there. So congrats to them there. Pushing into second point now. Only really going to have the beat. Nothing really offensive going to be here on the side of Holy Jalapenos. And Crimson getting an early pick down to Bork as well. It's going to just delay the defense even further. Oh, Mallard going down too. Just continuing these staggers. Well, the Undead batteries can take up a lot of space here. And really only going to have one clean fight probably for the side of Jalapenos.
Look at Climate claiming all the way to the U-turn. And Abe's in the high ground. They have nowhere. Jalapenos. And right now they're just trying to avoid going, having to take the ugly trip back to spawn. They're able to manage to hold off just barely, but so much space taken here by Jalapenos, or by the Undead battery, pardon me. We see the Wrecking Ball. Is that, what do you think of that Torb only here?
Very interesting for sure. The Wrecking Ball has a lot of good map geometry here. If they're able to get a pretty good slam up, that might give a little bit of advantage to their team, but so far it doesn't seem to be doing the job.
Johnny Robot again taken down by Abe. Lots of good value coming in from the DPS for Undead battery. Climate picks off Needle. Two down already for Jalapenos, 4v6. But they're managing to hang on this contest here. Torb only causing a lot of problems in the back line. Bork is taken down. And despite the sound barrier from Meebles, we do see the ult come in from Torb only, perhaps trying to draw this out a little bit longer. Abe comes in with the Death Blossom, finding Johnny Robot and Meebles, however. Just too much pressure from Undead.
Yeah, great job there. They did a really good job after taking that first point, pushing forward, killing the spawns, taking all the territory they want. And they have the same advantage out here. We have split spawns coming in too. They can take advantage and take out Johnny Robot here when he's stuck here on the Junkrat. It looks like they're not going to be able to see him. Oh no, they are able to see him. Crimson. That's massive. Every pick they get in, Torb only going down too. Every pick here is just going to keep delaying the recontest, which is exactly what Undead needed. They didn't have a massive time bank coming into point 2, but now they have 2 minutes and 40 seconds pushing in, and that's a very respectable time bank to take third point on Junkertown.
Crimson and Abe right now doing incredible work on their DPS, and we need to see some strong resets here from Holy Jalapenos. Torb only does manage to get Crimson, and that's a huge pick at this point. Torb only doing a lot of work on that Wrecking Ball, as being as disruptive as possible. He slams onto the cart, picking up 3 there, and the Gravitic Flux finds 2. Not able to get any additional value out of it, but Undead battery is falling right now. It looks like Holy Jalapenos is going to be able to turn this around. Actually, Seb continuing to find great value on that Moira. Really good play from Seb continues. The teams are continuing to battle it out, trading 1 for 1, but it does look like Holy Jalapenos are just going to hold this one out as Torb only finds Climate. Torb only deep into the enemy backline with basically no health, finding a double kill.
Yeah, Torb only shutting down Crimson here on this last point here in Junkertown. They definitely needed to take that early fight there and a win to kind of swing the momentum back in their favor. So great job there. The Wrecking Ball, we were kind of questioning it at first, but Torb only, I mean, shutting down Crimson, who was basically carrying that last fight there. So big for them. They do have 3 ultimates here as well. They do have the Blizzard, they have the Mines, and the Coalescence here as well. So you gotta like the chances here for a pretty good hold here. And even if they holding this close up, they have time to recontest again before it pushes into the end. As long as they don't keep pushing back, which they're doing, they need to be holding more forward here.
We see Torb only going in extremely aggressive with the Blizzard and the Mines. Torb only finding Abe. Demo falls as well. Seb again with that Coalescence, but it's walled off by Mallard. And it does look like Undead is slowly but surely going to fall here. Good plays there from Holy Jalapenos, burning 2 ults in order to solidify that fight.
Yeah, Johnny Robot now is going to have the Death Blossom, Needle going to have the Gravitic Flux, and Torb only's been building up ult really quickly, already back up to 40%. You got to expect he's going to get the Minefield at least midway through this next fight. But there are ultimates to counter that here over on the side of the Undead batteries. Abe now, Kuchikopi, and Demo all having the ults, along with Crimson. If they can pop a Visor here to maybe get a little bit of an idea of where the side of Holy Jalapenos are setting up, they might have a good chance maybe to catch out Johnny Robot sitting on the high ground here.
But Johnny Robot recognizing Abe teleporting in puts a lot of damage onto him, but Abe is able to counter back. You see it dueling Death Blossoms and Sound Barrier blown by Meebles. Does manage to keep his team up through it, but we see a Gravitic Flux now come up with no counter. Holy Jalapenos taken very low by that, but they managed to hang on just barely. And right now both sides contesting the card as Johnny Robot's trying to find some value. In the backline goes Torb only with the Minefield. Seb, another Coalescence, finding tons of value, but is taken down by Torb only on the Wrecking Ball. Torb only, the malicious hamster with a murderous mindset, is taking them down so quickly. And Abe does manage to get Bork. He's trying to spin this back around. Meebles, though, with the nice pick onto Crimson. Both sides just trading kills right now. Neither side really taking hold on this. I'd like to see Mallard come in with this with this blizzard here. What are you seeing?
Yeah, Mallard's really got to get this blizzard off here if they can. That's going to be massive. The I-field is down now on the side of Unded, but they get 2 massive picks, 3 now with Johnny Robot going down, and they need to fall back here and just hold off. I do like Mallard not throwing in the altar. They still have time for a recontest. So if Mallard can get, they have the minefield as well. That's a deadly combo coming up here. If Torb only can just build up that ultimate quickly.
Crimson is going so deep right now. Takes out Needle, who did not expect that at all from Crimson. Huge play from Crimson. That's going to buy them so much time. They have to get on the cart right now. We see Minefield brought in. Oh, and Mallard can't get the res or can't get the blizzard off. Critical play there from Crimson. He pops off, gets 3. Crimson, the drunken mastermind, finds a 4th. Torb only gets Abe with the minefield, but that's just from the grave. And Junkertown full clear from Undead Battery, trying to get that 3rd map win.
And you really have to hate losing that fight there as Holy Jalapenos. They almost 5 all line to win there at the end, but not able to get them off and stall long enough. Oh, that great job there from the Undead Batteries. Almost seeming like they were going to get full held there, but pushing through dominant 2nd point and then pushing through right when they needed it there on the 3rd point to take the map. Or take the ground.
Crimson, without question, putting his team on his back on that cap.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That was just huge plays there. I could not believe the fact that he got away with so much there, but he somehow managed. Holy Jalapenos have to recognize the threat in their backline a lot sooner. Otherwise, they're going to have a huge problem on their hand.
Yeah, that's why I think a lot of these teams here in the Harmony tier this season have had troubles with Reapers and with really aggressive play, because you have to deal with that. You have to have someone, a DPS on your team, that's basically just waiting and taking and just combating the over aggressiveness that you see. Where normally on DPS you're like, all right, go in, get killed, get back, get healed. But you have to have someone holding back here now. Tanks can't necessarily put in the same amount of pressure on these flanking DPS as they used to. So we see a pretty similar comp here on both sides so far. We see Torb only right now on. Is that a Roadhog? Yeah, I think it's a Roadhog. Ooh, that's interesting.
What is that? Yeah, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that since the pulled pork meta. So,
I guess Halt Hook is now my best friend again. Maybe Double Shield's gone.
Is Double Shield gone? I don't know if Double Shield's gone.
It's not gone.
I'd say it's not gone.
We want it to be.
Let's not kid ourselves.
It's not gone.
We want it to be gone. It's fine.
We want it.
All right. Oh, and the aggressive hold here, obviously from Undead. Definitely like that play, trying to avoid the pirate ship being set up. But that said, doesn't look like a pirate ship here at all from Holy Jalapenos and Crimson. Perhaps his aggression bit him a little bit there, and he falls right away. Nice hook onto Abe on the May, forcing his cooldowns out. Right now, definite advantage goes to Jalapenos as they pick off Seb. Mallard looking real good on that Widowmaker.
Let them up.
Yeah, Mallard looking very good. They do throw out the window here, though. Maybe trying to pick out these last staggers here on Undead, because they haven't really fallen back yet, but they're also not really contesting the payload. They're in a very place.
That's a huge pick from Needle and a very early Gravitic Flux from Climate, pardon me. Johnny Robot does find Abe, and that's a big kill, taking away a lot of their cart presence. But Climate finds Bork, and losing that healer is going to hurt them very badly. It does look like Holy Jalapeno is recognizing that this fight is lost. They are backing down right now. Mallard trying to find some picks on the way out. He's getting really aggressive with his positioning and perhaps leaving himself very vulnerable to a flanking Crimson who is looking for him right now. But Crimson, again, in the backline, he is instead found by Torb only on the Roadhog and taken down. Mallard pops the sights, trying to find some additional value with that Widowmaker. He does take out Demel. Mallard the MVP, trying to will the Holy Jalapenos through this match.
Yeah, Mallard just popping off here and then opening up so much space for his team. And Torb only doing a great job here on the Roadhog. Roadhog's still showing, hey, I'm still viable. I think one of the hard things here for the side of Undead is they're really relying on keeping just their shield presence up in these chokes. And Roadhog's damage is so detrimental to a lot of these shields now, able to melt through with a lot of these recent changes that came out on this last patch. So Torb only really showing up here. But, I mean, you got to really say the Mallard making some massive picks in these fights.
The Mallard definitely coming up huge for them. We see the Dragon come in, not finding anything, but Mallard picks off Climate. The Blizzard coming in here from Abe, and right now it does look like it's just going to be enough for Undead to hold on to point A here just a little bit longer.
Yeah, great job for them holding here at the end. A minute 40, going to be basically a minute 20, minute 15 before Undead is before Holy Jalapenos are able to come back to point again. Johnny Robot now going over to the Doomfist. We see Bork going over to the Moira now. Maybe going to something a little more traditional. Still keeping Mallard on the Widowmaker and keeping Torb only there on the Roadhog. I do like the Widowmaker pick here, but they maybe have to start switching things up here. Not tons of time left, and not really much ult here for them either. They need to build up ults quickly in this fight. Go in with the dry push, not use this window. Unless Crimson can get a big pick, which he does. 2 big picks.
And he pops his ult. He gets 3. He gets 4. Crimson, the Drunken Master, is coming up big. Crimson carries his team with a 5K. Huge play from Crimson.
Oh, that was just insane. That gave enough. Now the Climate has the ultimate back up there. They did have to use the window and the Reaper ultimate, but there's no ults. They made more switches over on the side of Holy Jalapenos. They lost percentage that they have. They're only 50% to a Valkyrie now. They need to win this fight with just their cooldowns, and that's going to be very hard when there's the Gravitic Flux here on the side of the Undead batteries.
I definitely am concerned about the situation here for Jalapenos. They're in dire straits. Perhaps some panic switch is coming. Gravitic Flux comes in from Climate, finds 3. They do manage to avoid a lot of the damage, but it doesn't matter. Mallard taken down. Holy Jalapenos look like they're going to try to reset this really quickly, but Johnny Robot taken down late. Needle perhaps playing way too far forward, but he does get Climate. That's a big pick right now at this point in the fight. They should have time to come back on a recontest, and they are going to be able to, and they are going to be down one of their tanks. So that's a critical thing here. We see Torb only is walled off from his team, being poked at by the May, but they're not able to finish them off. The Blizzard comes in from Abe, and that is big, really stopping much of the damage coming in from his team. Meebles, though, with a big res on a Torb only. Demo gets 3 from Holy Jalapenos. Holy Jalapenos trying to draw this thing out, trying to find a way to get through this on Junkertown, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. The horn rings. It's a team kill for Undead. They are 1 map away from taking this championship.
Undead batteries looking so strong there at the end, coming in at the right times, contesting when they needed to, rotating their ultimates perfectly. They looked dominant on this point, and the healers coming in massive at the end. I think they had 5 of like the last 7 kills there in that last fight, including the resurrect. And yeah, the play of the game coming through from Seb doing fantastic on the side of Undead.
Low-key, Demo and Seb right now are doing an incredible job, really enabling their team to get away with what they're getting done. But how about Crimson, that map? How about Crimson? Light Rose, what do you think here?
It's just good. Crimson's it's just good. I don't know that the more alcohol he consumes, the better he gets.
Undead batteries would tell you yes.
How much are they feeding him? It's just he's doing really well this match. And I talked about Abe. Abe had a presence, but Crimson really took control of that map in general. I mean, he was in the backline, so he didn't really have much of the healing. But obviously, you talked about Seeb and Demol. They had a huge presence in that map as well, keeping up Undead Battery. Because it looked like there were times at Holy Jalapenos, it looked like they should have really taken that first point. They had fights that they were winning, and somehow Undead Battery brought it back. And a lot of that is to the healers. Healers obviously are a very important part, and keeping them alive is something that Undead Battery really has. It's been key for them, and they've been working very well, and they just need one more to take the entire thing.
What do you think Holy Jalapenos needs to do right now to turn this thing around? They seem to just be struggling to really find a firm footing right now. Holy Jalapenos or Undead Battery just kind of having their way with them.
They need to work together, find their synergy. They had more synergy earlier, but it seems it's kind of crumbling. It's falling down a hill, and it's just going away. And this is the time where you need to come together. It's the finals. It's your last chance to show your skill. And we all know that Holy Jalapenos has the skill. They just need to show it. And Undead Battery right now is just at their peak.
Well, Holy Jalapenos are going to have to make this match go the distance in order to find a way to pull this thing back. You can't count them out with the MVP on their team. You can't count them out. You have to wonder if maybe it's time to get Needle off the tank back onto supports. I think that's got to be the play here, right?
I mean, he's been adequate, but when you've lost 2 in a row, you think something's got to change. Mm-hmm. And obviously, Needle did do well in Nepal, no doubt about that, even though they did lose the map. But with everybody else, I think it's time to just change some things up.
And it does look like they are bringing in Bethcon here. What else did you see in here for substitute?
I mean, Bethcon, like Torb only. I want to talk. Torb only was massive in the last map. He was one of the reasons that they stopped the momentum of Unded Battery with Wrecking Ball, finding clutch hooks on offense as Roadhog. So if he can find a synergy with Bethcon, then I think they could take this map.
What do you think here, Booth? We're seeing the in-person Terractin coming in now. What are you seeing with that?
I like that here on Lijiang. They seem to have a really good tank synergy between both pairs here, Kuchikopi and Climate having a good synergy, then in-person Terractin as well. In-person Terractin, a very deadly tank duo as we've seen in this game so far. Opening up on the Reinhardt here, we still have the Reinhardt on the side of Torb only as well. So we're gonna have a little fight here going on for that. We see Symmetras coming out on both sides as well. We're gonna see who gets the point here first. Whoever does is gonna have the massive advantage. Needle is over on the Brigida as well, which is shown to really like that. They've opened up with that a few times here. There's going to be a lot more heals, especially because they have the Baptiste with the eye field here on the other
Both
side.
teams tallying to the point at the same time, and the brawl is on. Johnny Robot finding Demo right away. Losing a healer early is going to hurt them badly, but Crimson, again, finding so much value on that Reaper, but he's right now is the last body left on the point, and he does fall. Undead not able to capture the point first here. Point A, or I'm sorry, first take here on Night Market's going to Holy Jalapenos.
Yeah, we see that, and then we see Abe now going over to the pharmacy. We see Demo over here on the Mercy now. So comp here. I definitely like that. Hard to recontest with the Symmetra into another Symmetra. Bethcon does go a little low early on here, trying to get some of that poke damage in from Abe, and already up to 23% on the barrage as well.
Definitely. Abe right now is needing to get some of that charge on that barrage. Really quick here. Johnny Robot, though, taken down right away. Only goes his own way, and Abe finds Bork, and it looks like Undead is going to flip this thing right back. Only about 33% to Holy Jalapenos here after the team kill.
A very quick retake for them. That's great. 34% is not much for Jalapenos to really have here. It's going to almost be 34% by the time they're able to recontest and clean fight ending here. So good job to come back in quickly. I really like the pharmacy switch, and they're going to have ultimates coming back in here. Almost the whole team getting really close now. Just Demo only 43 on the Valk. So if they can build up a barrage here really quickly, which Abe is really getting close, already up now. If they put up
Crimson
with that here.
Again with an aggressive position for his flank. He's trying to get, and he got the Mallard again. Abe with an ultimate of his own, but not finding anything. But Johnny Robot's already taken down. Holy Jalapenos down both DPS, but Bork trying to do all the DPS they need with that Coalescence. Right now, not able to get anything. Torb only unable to swing with his low health and falls. Terractin finds one with his Flame Strike, and right now, everybody's back up on the side of Undead, while Holy Jalapeno side, not so much. Oh, Terractin taken down late, though.
Yeah, I don't know if they have res up for this either, or if they're even able to. Doomfist is waiting there, trying to get that res back. So Terractin should be able to get back before the recontest, because Needle is still coming out of spawn here. But no, they're going to push him without Needle. That's a decent choice before Terractin gets set back up, but he's already back to point.
Yep, really quick, really good job there from Terractin to get back to the point quickly. And again, everybody's so low on the side of Holy Jalapenos before the fight even starts because of all the damage from Abe, who already has another barrage. And they have 4 ults from 5 ults now, and Abe with the barrage finding 2. Terractin picks off Bethcon with the charge. Terractin finds yet another. Undead Battery looking really good. They only use 2 ults. They're gonna have 3 here for what is set to be last fight for Holy Jalapenos.
Yeah, 3 massive ultimates. You have the Death Blossom, you have the Earth Shatter, and then you've seen how much work Seb's been able to do with the Moira ultimates here as well. They're gonna try to take another high ground, but oh no, Needle! Needle goes down!
Huge play from Abe, finding the very early boop. There's nothing left that they can do. They just have to try to go in one support down. They're trying to get to the point, and I don't know if they can. They just barely do, but they lose so much on the way in. They have Bork trying to work in with Coalescence, but not able to get anything. Crimson spinning the win on the point, finding Johnny Robot and Bork. I don't know anything's left for Holy Jalapenos. They do get 2 back. Bork sticking in on that Brigida, not able to get anything. Orissa's dropped the bongos in. Right now, nothing doing here from Holy Jalapenos, trying to find a way to draw this thing out. You see, not able to do so. Undead Battery is 1 point away from the championship.
They are, and I don't know if you're going to be able to stop them here. They're looking so incredibly strong. I mean, you can name a position, and they're just outclassing Jalapenos, it seems, here so far. Terractin, this is going to be a very strong map here on the Reinhardt, close quarters. And the Mays are going to come in pretty big here as well. You're going to have Abe, looks like he's going to probably be on the May here as well. And this is maybe a good time here for the Mallard to switch over to the May. The May's been strong here, basically in almost every meta we've had here in Overwatch. So maybe that can be what they need. And they need it here, because if not, they're 1 point away from losing here.
They were 1 win away without question. It looks like Needle's having a little bit of technical, so they're working on getting him back in right now. It's an interesting thing we're seeing here from both teams. Holy Jalapenos, they have to find a way right now. I don't know what they need to do. They seem to have lost their spice. It seems like their aggression is gone. They don't have the aggression, the coordinated aggression that they need. And part of it too is just the unbridled aggression that we're seeing from Crimson on that Reaper all night. He has been basically spending the majority of team fights flanking or in a back line. I can't remember a time he stood near his tank yet. Except maybe running back from respawn. That's really the only time I can think of that I've actually seen Crimson standing next to his tank. But if you're Holy Jalapenos right now, you got to find it in you. You got to find a way to bounce back. You're up against the wall. You have nothing left to lose here. You have one map, 1 point left that you can lose in order that you could lose here in order to win this championship. It all comes down to this for them. And you got to wonder if it's maybe in their head at this point that they just can't pull this out.
Well, it's definitely going to be in the back of their head. It's just coming down to whether they're going to let it actually just step in for them. I still like Jalapenos. I think they're very strong. I don't know if they're going to have what it takes to come back here against Unded. Unded looking very strong, and this seems like this is a great point here for Unded to come in. I gotta like how many flanks has Crimson taken in the backlines here? I mean, like 7, 8, 9, 10. I feel like every couple of seconds I hear Juke whispering in the back of my ear, "Look at Crimson on the flank, Crimson on the flank." He's just in the backline every single time, and I don't think that's gonna stop here. And lots of little corridors for Reapers to sneak around here. And again, with how aggressive their tanks can be here, I don't know what they need to do here on the side. The Holy Jalapenos. Lightrose, do you have any insight on what you think Holy Jalapenos need to be doing here?
I think I honestly don't know. Crimson's just been able to walk all over them. It's really hard to combat that. They've obviously brought out the Brig for something. You don't really see Brig much, but it's just
I feel like the Brig was a mistake, honestly. Like you have so much splash damage coming in from Abe there on that Pharah. I feel like you gotta stick with the Lucio Moira for that, or Lucio Bap or Bap Moira or something else, because it's just the Brig just doesn't have the AoE output unless they're brawling, and they can't brawl quick enough with Abe shooting at them from such long range.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. The only reason that I could think that they would bring the Brigitte is because of the Reaper, and Crimson was still booming them, man.
Absolutely.
It doesn't work.
It's just not working out for them right now, and it's just a consistent problem for Holy Jalapenos where they're trying to get this sorted out here. It looks like a game is being updated right now for Needle. Unfortunate technical issues coming up here right at the wrong time. They're trying to get everything back. Oh, and it looks like he's finally bouncing back into the game. What about this map here? Obviously, this isn't much of a Pharah map, so you got to figure maybe this starts to go back in the favor of Holy Jalapenos a little bit.
Definitely. Maybe we'll see Torb only on that hamster again. This is kind of more of a wrecking ball favored map, with kind of the open area, central point. So it'd be interesting to see him on the wrecking ball, because him on Junkertown, the wrecking ball was really well done. He did a wonderful job of stopping them. So it'd be interesting to see how they combat the Reaper, and if we're seeing a May on Abe.
Definitely. And right now, looking at what we're seeing from the comps, it does look like we have Abe and the May and Crimson on that Reaper that has been so very effective at destroying the backline healers and DPS from Holy Jalapenos. Coming out on Unded Battery's side, I'm sorry, on Holy Jalapeno side, man, we have Torb only on the Reaper, I'm sorry, on the Reinhardt, and Bethcon on the Zarya. I am losing my mind. I am so sorry, but the map is on. Here we go.
Well, interesting opening here from the side of the Undead Batteries, going with the Bastion and the Symmetra, trying to get to a favorable position, maybe trying to get the Bastion on the high ground of point. That's going to be a lot of damage. I'm sure that Holy Jalapenos won't be expecting.
Here they go.
Oh, that's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Brutal wall. What a great play there from Mallard to try to get the to get the the Bastion off, but it doesn't matter because the wall lamp goes down along with the wall the shields, and it's just too much. And Undead Battery look to be settling in just fine on this point.
Yeah, just have so much advantage here with this Bastion. Getting up to the high ground was great for them. Knocking it back down is definitely gonna hurt them. And Crimson just to see, I don't need a shield. I'm just gonna go over here because that's where it just cleans up at the end for them. It's just a matter of time here now for the Undead Batteries to take point.
Undead Battery gets that critical first cap here. Holy Jalapeno is going to be making some changes, I would estimate, to try to find a way to deal with this. But right now, Undead Battery is in a really good spot. They're setting back up on that high ground, which is going to be so challenging for them to contest.
And all the ultimates they're going to have here too. They have the window already, which I'm sure they're going to open up with early here. But watch out for Torb Only. Torb Only's trying to flank here on the Bastion, maybe trying to get a cheeky boop here. Taking even a couple of people out early on would be massive for them.
Oh, he tried and he couldn't get up, unfortunately. He is taken down. Torb Only with a brutal misplay there. Crimson is in prime position to continue to get so much damage out. They have 3 ults, going to have 4 for Undead, and only window for Holy Jalapenos right now.
I do like Needle going over to this Ana though. There's a good geometry right above the shield. They can hit a nade for them to dive in with. The whole team will be anti. They just got to break down that supercharger from Demol. I mean, for the immortality they're going to have from Demol. But it looks like they're going to try to go in right now.
It's the right play. Torb Only in their backline trying to cause a little bit of problem. He's getting boops. He does boop Mercy off, but Mercy just flies right back. But Abe is taken down. That's a big pick from Johnny Robot. We're trying to find more damage in, and it does look like they're able to get some kills here. The question is can they find that Bastion? Bastion continuing to rain in so much damage, sitting on top of the teleporter, so he's porting in so much from them right now. The teleporter does go down as Abe makes a switch on to Doomfist, but it does. Undead Battery is managing to hang on. We see the desperation mail coming in from Mallard. Takes down. They do manage to take down the Bastion. He's standing right now in the lamp, trying to stay alive as long as possible. Johnny Robot does find Abe, and again the draw. Holy Jalapeno is doing such a good job of drawing this out so long. They put this into a situation where it's going to be very tough for Holy Jalapenos right now.
It is. That was a massive blizzard there from Mallard. That ended up losing Crimson's tank configuration. So Crimson now going over to the Reaper off the Bastion. Works really well from though, 86%. That's basically only one fight they need to win, and a very hard recontestant for Jalapenos if they're able to flip point again. You see Bethcon now over to the Diva. Torb Only still here on the ball, on a tank composition to try to break that bunker. Now that, to break the Bastion bunker. Now that the Bastion's gone, it's going to be tough for them. Torb Only is trying to hide in this corner, but looks like Crimson has the same idea, and he's going to be hanging just on the other side of the wall here. We'll see which one of them bumps into himself first.
Crimson poking around the corner. He finds Torb Only, but Torb Only recognizing that maybe he shouldn't hang out there anymore. Look at this high ground position here. They are forced down. We see the ult comes in, picks up a couple on Holy Jalapenos, and here comes the Death Blossom from Johnny Robot, trying to find some kills. Does not, as it's lamped away. Trades coming out from both sides. Johnny Robot finding 2. Demol finding several kills as well. Undead Battery does look to be falling as Johnny Robot and Mallard. Oh, but Demol turns it around with 2 kills. Big kills from Demol. He manages to turn it around almost on his own with just Terractin on the point with him. Torb Only has to try to stay alive, and he cannot. Undead Battery sets it up. They are 1 fight away from taking this championship.
Oh, Demol doing this an amazing job, basically coming in as a DPS himself and just annihilating through the point. Now only 94%.
Abe with a huge play, but he's taking down himself. We do see the touch coming in from Needle, so he is able to draw this thing back to overtime. We see Torb Only coming in with the mines right now. Undead Battery is 1 fight away from taking this, but Holy Jalapenos are not going down without a fight. Torb Only finding 3 on the Wrecking Ball, and we see the freeze coming in from Mallard. Mallard takes down Terractin. Holy Jalapenos continuing to draw this out, not going down just yet.
Torb Only popping off, already back up to 41%, and there's still mines on the point. Mines now just fading off. Now Mallard does have a blizzard here, and Johnny Robot is back up to the Death Blossom. Vork here does have the window as well. A lot of ults for them, coming up to 80%. Last fight territory coming in. They do have the Doomfist ult on the side of Abe, but Terractin switching back over now. Back over on the Reinhardt.
Beth's about to have a Beth Bomb herself. We haven't seen much of a Beth Bomb this season. It'd be nice to see one now. They need one as bad as they could possibly need it. You see Pile Driver coming in from Torb Only. Here comes that Blizzard. Picks great position Blizzard. Lots of freezing coming in. Demol is taken down. Critical kill onto the Doomfist. And there go. I'm sorry. And Johnny Robot with the spin to win. Bethcon is taken down, but Abe finds a kill onto Bork. Johnny Robot finds Abe, and Crimson goes down as well. And it looks like Terractin is the last hope here for Undead to try to hang on. They cannot They're trying to recontest and they can't quite get back. And there's the best bomb. Yeah.
There's the best bomb. Holy Jalapenos are definitely not falling over yet. Fantastic job for them. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting, when I saw that Bastion Symmetra strat coming out, I was like, oh no, that's a horrible way for this one to end. But proving me wrong, coming around, taking us to a 3rd point here on Lijiang. And I don't know if Torb only knows this about Wrecking Ball. This is one of Wrecking Ball's better points. So being absolutely dominant, as it saw there at the end, building up ult like it was nothing, booping teams around, getting 4Ks. Looking pretty good. Hopefully Jalapenos can take this point here. Mallard going to open up on the Widowmaker. We do see Beth back over on the Diva. I kind of like this out of them. They're playing their game. They're playing their heroes, which they need to do here because they got to do something different to come back through here and win Lijiang.
But we do see Abe on that Pharah that has been an absolute terror entire match today. Mallard is going to need to have the map of his life here in order to stop them because they have been unable to stop Pharmercy all night long. And look at Abe's positioning. He's doing so well at completely isolating off Mallard, preventing him from really getting any picks. Mallard is so low and he's down already. Great plays there, but Bethcon is picking off 2 on the point. We see Abe now is going to be uncontested though on that Pharah. He's going to get a lot of damage in. The res was attempted by Demo, but he's not able to pull it off. Johnny Robot does pick off Abe, and that's a big kill at this point with no res cooldown up, and Holy Jalapenos are going to take the first cap here.
Yeah, great job from them here. You see the Bork already getting up here to the window, and there's no ultimates really here on the side. Crimson getting up to 70% on the side of Unded. So even just throwing that window, even in front of the Widowmaker, because that's just a body shot in the knee basically to the Ferret. She's going down with that kind of a damage boost. Johnny Robot getting high on ult as well, and Torb only did a great job there, just creating a lot of space for the team. They don't have any shield, so he has to step in big for them in that regard, and he definitely did it there on that point. If you're looking for him to try to get a good boop off here, we see Unded taking White Room approach, and if he can get a big boot before they push in, that would be massive for their team.
The Holy Jalapenos are putting a lot more on the Mallard, trying to protect him from the Pharmercy, and it's paying off in a big way because they're getting Mallard a lot more space to work with, and he was able to pick off two there with the addition of Johnny Robot, and it looks like Undead Battery just decided that they don't want to continue this fight anymore. And honestly, I don't blame them there. That was a lost cause after the first 2 picks.
It was, and a great job for them. They only used the window, and now look at all the ultimate coming online from them. They're gonna have the mines, they're gonna have the Beth Bomb here, and they're getting close to Johnny Robot's Death Blossom as well. A lot of great ultimates from the open up with here, but watch out for Abe here. This is going to be a game here between if Bethcon's going to throw out a bomb or stay in mech and try to eat this Farah barrage. Kind of like that old goats thing. Who you're going to Diva Bomb before the Zarya throws out Grav. It's kind of just like a mind game between the two. We see a lot of ultimates both ways. This is going to be one hell of a fight to catch here, SkiFree. I feel it for you.
I'm in. I'm ready to go. Let's go. We see the Valkyrie coming in. Lessons from Undead Battery, and here comes the barrage from Abe, not finding anything, but Seb manages to get the Mallard. That's a big kill at this point. Lamp is taken down as well, and here comes the Death Blossom from Johnny Robot, but the Beth Bomb comes in, fights 2! A Bethcon bomb right there from Bethcon 2. Big play there, and without question, Holy Jalapenos is set to take this map and draw this thing out to a 3-2.
Holy Jalapeno said, we're not over yet. We're going to take this map, coming in and just seemingly dominating after that first point flip there on that second point, and just being insanely strong on 3rd point there on Lijiang. And they're keeping this thing interesting. Johnny Robot getting the play of the game here. I think this was one of these Death Blossoms they had. Holy Jalapenos. Wow, fantastic job here in Lijiang. I don't know what Spoderman said to them in that break, but they sure needed it, and they sure proved it.
Excellent work there from both teams trying to pull this thing back. I have to say, the Holy Jalapenos one fight away from losing this thing. Undead Battery, it's worth noting, after they got to that point, you notice how much they slowed down? You got to wonder if maybe the moment got in their head a little bit there. After that fight, they started to slow down. Even on Gardens, they really only had 3 full engagements before the map ended. Lightrose, did you notice that as well?
I did. I noticed it was just really quiet.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it was just really quiet. I was like, is there something wrong with my game? No, it was just sometimes there's a little gunfire, a little shield. It was just, there was very long time in between interactions, and when you don't have the point, that's not okay. You can't have that, and that's a big reason that Undead Battery kind of really gave it up. They were 10% away from winning the entire thing, and Holy Jalapenos came and took it back. A lot of that has to do with Johnny Robot, Torb only, Needle's finally back on that support. He had some clutch boops. I especially saw on Gardens. That second point, I still don't know the names somehow. That there were some really clutch groups. They all work together as a team, and that is exactly what we're all looking for. And it's what you can do to win the finals.
It's an impressive stuff we're seeing right now, and I want to point out that one thing that really didn't happen there that's happened every other time is Abe on that Pharah just did not find any value. You have to wonder if maybe doing the ball diva, part of the reason why they're mixing it up and trying that is to put the diva onto the Pharah, because I noticed when Abe went for his barrages, who was right there but Bethcon?
That defense matrix is one crazy ability. I failed to mention this during the pause. I was gonna say, at this point, you gotta try some radical stuff. The main things aren't working. You gotta go for some crazy things. And I don't know if crazy is the word for it, but it's definitely different. And it worked somehow. And now you're going on to the next map. Maybe try it again and see if it works there.
And we're going to Eichenwald next here. Again, a map that I really like the Wrecking Ball on because you can get a lot of value from it, especially on point 2. Point 1, not so much, but point 2, without question, you can definitely get that value on it. Who do you think Eichenwald favors between these two teams?
I'm going to have to say Holy Jalapenos. If Abe goes back on that Pharah, it's got such a big sightline that Mallard, I feel like, can definitely take him down. And Crimson, they've done a much better job of shutting down Crimson. They just got to keep their foot on the gas pedal at this point.
Absolutely, and they are doing a good job right now. Holy Jalapenos of rebounding. Again, they need to get that aggression back in order to take this one 3-2. It's 2 map wins are a lot more achievable than 3. So it really is anybody's match right now, Booth.
It really is. And Eichenwald is going to be a pretty interesting point here. We do see one tank sub coming in over. A tank sub coming in over on the side of the Undead Batteries. Interacting back in here, playing with Climate. Not the tank. We haven't really seen them playing as tanks combo much in this game so far. No subs on the side of Holy Jalapenos. I think a good pick for the side of Holy Jalapenos. Keep that lineup going. It'll seem to work pretty well there for them. I'm interested to see what we're gonna find tank-wise coming out of both sides. Reinhardt always being pretty strong here before Bunker was a thing, so maybe we're going to see this Reinhardt Orisa comp coming out on defense. I think that'd be really strong here. Abe could open up on a fire here early on. The fire was working really well, but maybe they're going to be prepared for it. Yeah, Mallard going to be over on the Widowmaker, it seems, and a very interesting defense composition here. I mean, you see the Wrecking Ball. Yeah, Needle taking a swim in the river, in the Rhine River there a little bit, but interesting on the side of Diva, Wrecking Ball. You don't see that on defense much on any point, let alone on Eichenwald.
Can I say before I head back to my super tiny desk, this is such a good game.
It really is.
I'm having a blast watching this.
This has been an absolute joy to watch, and I do have to point out here, yeah, we're seeing the Beth Diva on defense again.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, it's worth noting that one of the last times we saw this sim comp come out from Undead Battery, they went up and over the top of the roofs. Could see that again. Keeping a close eye on Undead here. You got to wonder if maybe Holy Jalapeno scouted out that strat. Undead right now looks to be setting up a teleporter from the right side here, moving all the way around to the left side of the bell tower. A good choice there, trying to find a new angle, and they did get that new angle right away. Seb's brought very low on the initial fight, but they are able to hold off just for now. Bethcon is brought low as well, but Mallard finds Abe. He's got to find a way to prevent that res. Are they going to be able to stop Demo from pulling off the res? No, Clement finds Bork. And Johnny Robot does get Demo though, so they do lose the Mercy, and they don't have the Far Mercy at all in any form anymore. Seb right now just trying to get that ult charge up on the point, and he is going to manage to sneak a... Nope, he's going to sneak down into the river.
Yeah, not a bad sneak. Yeah, down to the... Yeah, a good sneak there from them. Just getting out. You don't want to give him too many ult charge. You see Abe switching off now. We do see Demo going over to the Baptiste now. Abe over on the Mei. I like the Mei pick. A lot of divey heroes. Mei, of course, very good against as an anti-dive hero here. But Torb only. Can we get a minefield up here? Can just mine right into this death ball comp on the side of Undead. So be looking for Torb only to really open up this fight early on here, and maybe Bork getting a window.
But Demo again finds huge pick. Demo again and again on that Baptiste has come up so big. And he's just finding kill after kill after kill after kill, and that damage he's putting in is outstanding. And it's just going to be enough to just walk all over Holy Jalapenos here.
Yeah, it was. They definitely liked the switches they did. Abe going over to the May just added so much pressure on that dive you were seeing on the side of the Jalapenos. I think Jalapenos comp is a lot better suited here for second point with having this high ground. I do think they might struggle here. Coming up on all these ults, though, if they can take an aggressive fight here, maybe like right after they get through this first little door before some of the, they can use ultimates on the side of the Undead batteries, that'd be strong for them. But Climate has the Grab and Surge now. They have the window to act, and I'm sure we'll be getting a Shatter very soon here. Abe getting close. If they can win this pretty early on before Undead's able to invest too much, that's really the only way I see Jalapenos coming out on top.
There's the minefield coming in from Torb. It's big, brings a lot of Undead battery very low, but with the lamp up, they're able to avoid a Vitality field coming up big. Needle does get Demol, which is a huge kill there because Demol's done so much on that Baptiste, and a lot of Undead battery is super low right now. Abe with no cooldowns is forced to die as well. Right now, Undead, though, gonna have 5 ults on the comeback, but Needle does take down Crimson. It looks like Jalapenos are doing a good job of just kind of forcing these weird elongated fights that Jalapenos are Undead's having a really hard time kind of countering.
Yeah, it is, and they're still able to keep pushing cart here, even though they're down some. They didn't really invest much, and now you see Crimson going over to the Woodmaker, trying to deal with the Mallard, who's been really dominant here so far on the map. Mallard's gonna have to take a better angle and just holding on the bottom now, with Crimson coming back in. But Torb only already back up again to the ultimate.
Oh, big bomb coming in from Beth. Finds Seb. Maybe people forgot how to handle Diva bombs. I don't know. We see the Graviton come in, find a couple from the side of Holy Jalapenos, but it doesn't matter. And they're able to get this thing reset and find the kills that they need to find there. Great play from Beth setting that one up, forcing the panic run from Undead Battery.
I didn't really like that grab there on the side of Undead Batteries. If you're going to grab with that and you have a May ult up, I mean, combo those together, that's just a guaranteed fight win for you. Or maybe grab, so that, maybe Shatter first, and then your Reinhardt can try to get some damage.
Mallard.
Oh, Mallard. That's a big pick for them.
Mallard is clutching it out right now. Climate is caught out of position, getting a little too aggressive perhaps, and ooh, he is saved by the immortality field at the last possible moment, and he's managed to be brought back to full health fairly quickly. Look at the ult situation though. We're gonna have 3 ults for Undead, 4 ults for Holy Jalapenos.
I do like Mallard having this early sights here, maybe trying to get a good pick here. Oh, look at Johnny Robot hanging around the side of the cart here. He's gonna push right into their team here, but the mines.
Great immortality field again from Demol. That Baptiste play has been outstanding so far. And the Earth Shatter from Terractin. Big play, taking out 4 with that, but the Soundberry manages to keep his team up. Demol's taken down by Mallard again, but Crimson finds Mallard. And it looks like Terractin is finding a lot of value right now on that Reinhardt, and they are continuing to try to push through with their ultimates. They're still going to have a couple coming up, but Bork is just kind of drawing it out on the cart. And then he takes his own. It's a good play by Bork, actually. Prevents a lot of cart push, and it should buy his team a little bit of time here for a solid recontest.
That's one of the things you kind of give up when you weren't running a Reinhardt there. You're letting one of the all-star tanks have basically open shatters into your team, just getting enough. I do like Torb only switching over to the Reinhardt. They're going to match the Rein Zarya. A great wall from Abe, though, might not even let him get able to get the point.
Mallard is taken down by Climate very early, and here comes Abe. And it doesn't look like that they're going to be able to really do anything for, as they just throw their corpses onto the cart. Crimson finds 3, Terractin finds 2. He's got another Earth Shatter. Demol also with that window with Climate and the grab. A good advantageous position right now for Undead. They could steamroll their way to the point here.
Yeah, steamroll and 2 minutes and 40 seconds because that was a very quick set and take for them. That's a pretty big timing. If they're able to push through here and win a very distinctive early fight, that could give them a massive time bank going. Oh, they're going to open right up with it.
Big Graviton followed by the window here. And look at Crimson in the back line. He is finding so much value. Terractin charges in, takes out 2 on his charge before he loses his own life. But Mallard continuing to find picks on that McCree, takes down Seb. Oh, Crimson, Chandelier Reaper. Oh no, that is terrifying. You think Chandelier Bash is scary? Chandelier Drunk Crimson is even worse.
That was really unfortunate that they ended up losing traction very early in that fight. That gave Mallard a lot of space to take some damage, and now is the Deadeye again. So ultimates are going to be up here, both DPS ults up, but Crimson is still sneaking behind. You got to think he's going to try to go in on maybe the side if the side of Holy Jalapenos pushes far forward, but no, they're going to stay behind Cart. That's very smart.
Oh, the window combined with the Flame Strike takes Demel out of the fight before it begins, and Mallard finds a pick as well from onto Climate, and this one's already over. Seb, unfortunately, losing his Coalescence in this fight, and Teractin is kind of being whittled down. Is he going to get staggered? Yes, he is. Torb only does a great job picking up the stagger. We have ults coming up on both sides right now. It's going to be an interesting fight here to wrap this thing up.
It sure is. We see Climate going over to the Winston now, too, going off the Zarya. That's going to not... I mean, the extra shield might help Teractin take a little bit more space, but those bubbles are incredibly important, especially when you have someone with a right click like the Mallard, or you have Johnny Robot here with the tire, not able to protect the Reinhardt as much, and especially if that shield goes down early, which it did. That's really going to limit them.
Torb only finds a couple with that. Bethcon takes out Crimson. That's a huge kill. We all know how powerful Crimson has been. Here comes the window from Demel, trying to find some of those picks that he's been doing such a good job at getting today. He does take out Bethcon, and then the Shatter comes out from Teractin, perhaps ill-advised. They did have time for another recontest here, and it does look like Holy Jalapenos are going to solidify this one right now. They're going to be in last fight territory here if you're an Undead Battery fan.
It is. Abe does have the Blizzard here, and Crimson also has the Reaper ultimate. A very deadly combo here if they're able to get this off. But if Bethcon can get a massive grab early on and they're able to throw up a good window here from Bork, a big fire strike into a grab like that is like sound to a Reinhardt ear. So we'll see if Beth can open up early on here, or if they're able to get the Blizzard off.
And there's the Gravitron immediately. They put the window up onto it as well. There's so much damage coming out from Holy Jalapenos. The Blizzard is going to try to draw it out from Abe. They are getting some value from that. Crimson comes in with the Death Blossom, finds one. And then the Earth Shatter from Torb only, though, in response. They're cleaning up right now, but Demel takes out, oh no, Torb only is all alone. Holy Jalapenos are in dire straits here. Torb only's got to try to straw this out as long as he can, just enough of a stall in order to get his team back up and back in the fight. We do see Teractin come back in on that Reinhardt. Johnny Robot is going to have a Riptire here. That is going to be the critical ult in order to try to win this, spin this one back, as Teractin continues to find kills. High Noon comes out for Mallard here. He's set up on the high ground. He can't get any kills, and Johnny Robot only is able to find one. He does get a critical kill, though, onto Crimson. Climate does take down two, and it doesn't look like anybody else can stop the Holy Jalapenos. Full clear.
Wow. Great job. Yeah. Great job there from Undead. Demel's Immortality Field was insane. You saw the very good positioning from Mallard there, trying to get that High Noon corner. So fantastic job there on the side of Undead to really come around, where they were definitely at the disadvantage to come in and win that fight after making so many late switches, but coming in very strong, pushing it here, capping it at overtime. And it's a lot different on these maps. Capping with overtime, that's still pretty big on their side. If they can able to push through here and have more than a minute time bank on the side of Jalapenos, they won't have another attack set up. So that could be the saving grace here for the Jalapenos, being able to push in. And if they're able to win with enough of a time bank, gotta like their chances here with this. So if they were able to hold really well with a dive composition of a defense, you gotta think maybe their attack will be pretty solid if they run a similar composition.
Ready for battle.
I definitely have to think so. And they're running Crimson now on the Bastion, which we have seen work to some effectiveness tonight. Hasn't been perfect, but it does typically draw out this first point quite a bit, which honestly could be enough. Again, we're seeing the Ball Diva dive coming out here from Bethcon and Torb only. It has worked well for them so far tonight. I would definitely don't blame them if they want to continue down that route.
Yeah, I do like Mallard over here on the May as well. Might be able to give him just enough presence to push through, but oh no, looks like Undead Batteries are going to be setting up right here in the back of point. That is going to be difficult for them to push through. That's a lot of space to get through divey. They either need to set up with a lot of shields and try to push through, or stick with a dive comp here and try to get into this back line. But they're probably not expecting them to hold this far back on the point.
It's worth noting, we haven't seen any Pharah play come out from Holy Jalapenos at all, and you have to wonder if maybe that piece of their repertoire missing is hurting them really bad in this matchup.
Yeah, Torb only's got to be the one to booth him off the high ground here, which he's going to try to do very early on, and he does!
He might pay for it with his own life. And no, Bork takes down actually first from Crimson. There's so many low bodies right now on Holy Jalapenos, but they are managing to keep themselves up, hiding around corners. Somehow they are managing to hang in there, but it does look like Crimson is just having unabashed, just completely undisturbed fun up on top, and he continues to take down all of Holy Jalapenos.
Yeah, the boop was great there from Torb only, but I don't think this team was ready to push in yet because they booped the Reinhardt and Deemel down on the point. Of course, Deemel can just jump right back up, but they weren't able to dive in on Teractin, which would have been the opening pick that they needed. So Crimson already up to 63% here, and Abe not as high on the fire charge as you normally see, but they're not as really of there's not as much of a death volley comp here pushing in, so not as much damage for him to push through. So you gotta hope they can try to jump in early here. Johnny Robot needs to get a lot of damage in on this Bastion, and hopefully Torb only can boop them off again. That's their only way to get an opening jump.
Needle taking an extremely low. Torb only still trying to find those boops. Hasn't been able to get a really strong one. He goes in with 100 health, and that seems ill-advised here. They do rotate for Undead Battery, and they're finding themselves in a prime position right now to deal with the new positioning of the Jalapenos.
Yeah, I like that rotation from them, because now they do have a little bit of a high ground they can dive to, but now Abe can just spam in rockets on them and make them lose a lot of their cooldowns. Bethcon probably has a lot of the defense matrix.
And they do see a lamp dive in or go in right on top of Crimson there. Johnny Robot does find Abe on the Junkrat, which is a big play there, but we do see the tank form come in from Crimson. Johnny Robot does get Deemel, so they are starting to get some picks, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough as Crimson continues to find the damage. We see Needle take out Crimson, and they just barely stop the res from Seb. That actually might be enough to stop this right now. But the Bongos come out with Abe's Barrage, and Barrage finds 2. Now, we do Undead Battery needs to stay aggressive here with that Bastion comp, and it looks like they are staying on the Bastion. Bastion's still on his way back. So let's see if Holy Jalapenos tries to take advantage of the situation. Here comes Riptire trying to find some value here. Looking around, finds nothing. And Crimson's already back set up in front next to the point. It looks to be a prime situation here. They do give up 2 ticks, but Crimson's able to get back in. And right now, Holy Jalapenos are in dire straits. They need to find a way to get this Bastion offset here.
They do have a bomb here, and they do have the Made Blizzard as well, along with the beat here from Needle, which they probably should use to get very aggressive. Teractin does have a Shatter though, and if they can get a big Shatter off, there's no shield for this team to really block this, and then Crimson's just going to have a field day, just shooting right down into their team. I think realistically, there's only one major fight here been going on.
Yeah. No question. Holy Jalapenos pretty much in their last chance here. We see the Blizzard come up onto the point. It's going to force without a doubt, it's going to force some sort of rotation here. We expect to see a follow-up of the Beth Bomb. We see the beat drop come in. Torb only finds Teractin, and Climate is down as well. They have no tanks left, so I don't think they're going to need it. And actually, they just got the payload, so Abe drops the ult, but it's likely ill-advised given the fact that they lost the point here. Bit of a C9 from Undead Battery. They could have turned that one around.
Yeah, they had the ultimate, so it seemed Teractin going down really early there. That was definitely the key turning piece in that fight for them. And I like how aggressive Torb only is getting here on the ball. He needs to get some help before he goes back in, but trying to pressure this team. They weren't able to switch off the Bastion yet. They're maybe keeping it because they do have the tank configuration here. But big pick from Mallard, opening up onto Abe. That's going to force out an early res from them.
No, Torb only is preventing the res. Big play from Torb only, and he takes down Seb. Torb only with an incredible follow-up onto the snipe, and now he just dives right in on top of Crimson, but he's charged out by Teractin. And they're trying to put tons of damage into Crimson, and it works. But Abe comes in on the Mallard. There's a lot of fights going on. And we see a huge Earth Shatter from Teractin. Teractin finds 3 after the Earth Shatter, and somehow Undead Battery, by the will of Reinhardt's hammer, is able to hold on.
Teractin absolutely coming in massive there at the end to win that fight. They do switch off the Bastion. I see Crimson back over onto the Widowmaker, trying to deal with what the Mallard's been able to do. We see Beth still has this bomb. It's really hard to get a lot of aggression when they had double shield, but now Climate's over on the Roadhog.
Torb only comes in with the mines. He's able to take out Seb right away. They're working on clearing those mines out right now, but so many low bodies for both teams. Torb only finds a second, and Mallard gets to pick on the Deemel. Definitely in favor of Holy Jalapenos currently, but Torb only needs to be careful to avoid losing his life here. Teractin trying to jump off. He cannot do it in time, and it looks like Holy Jalapenos are going to be able to push this just about to the door.
Torb only on this Wrecking Ball has just been insane for Holy Jalapenos. I think it's been one of the key pieces they've been doing so well. Already back up to 50% on the ultimates again. And right here is a very scary place to have Needle and Torb only trying to boop your team off if you're the side of Undead Batteries.
Undead Battery has to play very cautiously here, and unfortunately Deemel's taken down with the window in stock. Oh, and there's the Diva Bomb coming in. Maybe not necessary, but enough to at least make sure this point is secured. Teractin hanging on by a thread on the cart, but he is taken down as well. And Holy Jalapenos take point B. Final push to point A. 2 minutes.
They really need to take this one quick here if they want to try to not be able to force Undead Batteries have a second chance on attack here. So they do have a tire. An opening tire pick would be massive. You see Abe set up in an odd position here on the Hanzo, maybe trying to get an early pick. But Torb only back with the mines again, and Needle with the sound barrier as well. Not really much they have to counter besides the window here from Nemo.
There's been so much. Oh, but Torb only loses most of the mines in the ceiling there. But we do see the rip tire coming in. It could be big, and it is big. Johnny Robot with 3, trying to will the Holy Jalapenos to the end here. Bork picks off Demo, and it's going to be enough though where most of the Holy Jalapenos are, most of Undead Battery are going to be able to recontest here at the very end. We do see Crimson come in on the Reaper. Not going to happen though. Moira back on the point with Seb. Seb falls as well. They're just slowly picking them off. Undead Battery trying to draw it out to 1 minute here, because if they can do that, they can at least get an opportunity to win the map. But Holy Jalapenos look to be taking that away here, and they do. Holy Jalapenos will have an opportunity to take this map. Worst case scenario, we will be going to map 7.
So great job there from Jalapenos. That's entirely what they needed out of that. Capping it with 1:19 left, as you said, that is massive for them. We will be going to another map regardless of this outcome now, if they win or if we have a tie. But the next map could be a whole lot different in the stakes, depending on how they do on this opening attack here. And they're I'm gonna guess you're gonna see a bunker again on the side of Undead. It's so hard to break those in such a short time span.
It really is. Undead Battery, the bunker is a great play. It really, I like it here, but honestly, it's been a hard thing for Holy Jalapenos to break quickly, and we do see the bunker again, especially with that Farah. Holy Jalapenos have really struggled with that. It's definitely the right play here.
Yeah, they have. It's just a good counter to it. They have to take up so much space to get through, especially if they set it back up on that high ground again. And yeah, I'm gonna guess they are gonna do that again. So it's gonna be up to Torb only here. Can they get another massive boop for the team? And try to just take some of the shield pressure off. If they're able to get Terrakion, if they're able to get Climate down onto the ground so that they can poke away some of the shield damage, and the Mallard's able to put in, the Mallard and John Robot can put in a lot of damage into Crimson. And they need to do it early, they need to do it quick, and they need to take at least 1 tick here for them. If they can, they also, that's the other thing, only need 1 tick here. So they need to force them, they'll be forced off the high ground on the side of Undead. So them just getting the point is going to force a lot of the hands in Undead. Their response is really what's going to play out here. If this is going to be a brawl on point, or if it's just going to come down to Undead raining in damage from
Undead Battery is going to have a lot of damage here. They need Johnny Rowe big on that Junkrat and cause a lot of havoc and a lot of splash damage. And look at this. They recognize again. Oh, but the huge boop coming off from Torb only. It's very successful. And right now the team is extremely spread out, but Johnny Robot falls right away. That's a big kill right there. But Mallard finds Climate, and that's also an equally big kill. Right now, both teams trying to find their foothold here. Look at Needle putting so much damage into Crimson, but Crimson is able to stay alive through everything with that Mercy Pocket. And unfortunately for Holy Jalapenos, it doesn't look like it's meant to be on this one. They're going to have one more opportunity to touch. They will have a coalescence for this. Oh, Johnny Robot. We are seeing that Farah finally coming out from Holy Jalapenos.
Ooh, a little bit of a late switch. Wasn't able to get too much ult charge, so didn't lose tons, but that might be a really key factor for them here. They don't have the Mercy to go along with it, but maybe just trying to use the boop here. Oh, great wall, though, onto Crimson.
Isolates out Crimson. He's having to reset. Torb only does come in with the big pile driver. Right now, there's so much damage on Holy Jalapenos. They're not able to stabilize. Bork's trying to do so with the coalescence. Hasn't been able to do so thus far. Crimson takes out Johnny Robot, but there goes the there goes the Bastion. They're looking for the res. Oh, but the shatter followed by the barrage from Abe. Here comes the sound barrier from Needle trying to draw it out, and the mines coming up big. But Crimson returns to the fight after the res. Mallard does hit Crimson, but Abe on the Farah finds 2. Demo picks off Needle, and there's nothing left for the Jalapenos. It's a draw on Eichenwald. We go to map 7.
Abe coming in clutch for the team there on the pharmacy, and mass interact and just opening up the field for Abe to barrage all over onto the point and winning for them. Map 7 on the tie. Whew. Holy Jalapenos, though, still looking very strong. This is in no way over here. This could be a map 8 game coming out for us.
It really could. So here's the situation as a reminder for people watching. This is a 1st to 4 situation. So if Holy Jalapenos win, we have a score, the next map, which is a escort map of their choice. It would be 3-3. And if that happens, then we go to map 8, which is the last remaining control map in the whole entire in the entire pool, and that's Ilios.
Ooh, booping intensifies.
So the last loser does maintain the map pick here. So that's Undead. What do you think here, Light Rose? This has been a heck of a match.
Oh my god. My heart is like pounding and I'm not even playing. This is I think this is as close as you can get. Right now, the thing that's keeping Holy Jalapenos in this, I think, is Torb Only's Hammond. The Wrecking Ball. It's doing wonders. I literally, on that last push that Holy Jalapenos did, when Torb Only knocked all 3 of them off that part, I thought that was it. Because Torb Only has done his job. He's got the boops. He's got the picks. And everybody's there backing him up except for that last push that Holy Jalapenos did, which is a shame on their side. But you still didn't get the loss, which is important. You're still in this. Undead Battery. Please don't blow a 3-1 lead. Please.
The memes will happen.
You will get memed into hell if you blow a 3-1 lead. That's what I want to say.
Right now, Undead Battery trying to decide which map to pick. They got to go to an escort map next. It's definitely been an entertaining match thus far. See where we end up going here. What do you think? What do you think of the situation? We go to Rialto, and Rialto definitely, I think, favors the Holy Jalapenos. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. That more open sightline cuts off more on that Farah. The geometry very helpful for the Hammond. It's looking good for Holy Jalapenos, especially on Rialto.
No doubt. Holy Jalapenos are in an okay position here, considering they're down 3-2 right now. What are you expecting to see, if anything, here regarding subs? Do you expect to see Meebles come back in? Do you expect Impers or Kuchi to swap in for Teractin or Climate, or do you expect them to continue to let this thing ride?
I think I'm expecting to see what goes best with a Bastion comp. I think that's what they're going to stay with, especially on Rialto. Rialto's kind of known a little bit as a Bastion comp, a Bastion map. So if you kind of have that, I think they're going to keep with what they have. Keep that, run the Bastion comp, and ride that to victory.
It's going to be different. I have to question maybe that we have to see some Farah play from Holy Jalapenos, I think, on this map. I would like to see them do some of that Farah Mercy work. Booth, what do you think? Do you think that's the critical thing here we can see from Holy Jalapenos?
Yeah, Farah is very strong, especially on this point. We did see them going over to it at the end, so it's definitely maybe not a comfort pick for them, but it's also not like a throw pick like it would be for me to go onto Fire or something. So Johnny Robot, I think it was Johnny Robot the Fire for them. So possible to see that out of him here. I'm guessing we might see a pirate ship though coming out on the side of Undead Batteries on the attack. An early boop here, not a bad place for a Hammond as well, but it's also really hard to hold this first point in my opinion without having a shield. So running Hammond Diva, I mean, it's worked pretty well for them so far. I mean, they did it on Eichenwald, and if there's any map to not have a shield on and do okay with it, you do it on Eichenwald. I mean, I feel like you can almost do it anywhere. So maybe we'll see if they run that again here on the defense. We do see Torb Only, though, over on that Reinhardt. Bethcon then over on the Sigma. Mallard opened up on the Widowmaker, maybe expecting, okay, they're just going to all take a swim. It's a long game. They're just cooling off.
Yeah, just got to warm. It's been warm. It's been, you gotta.
Yeah.
You gotta. You gotta stay cool. I can't blame them there. And are we gonna see some comp switches after that?
That would be pretty big brain to dive off with the heroes you're actually going to play, and I guess they are. So they are confident. They can say, "Here is our comp. Look at it. We're going to kill ourselves, and then you get to see our comp still."
See, we're playing checkers. They're playing 3D chess. That's what this is.
Well, look for Johnny Robot here. If they can get a lot of damage in early on before Impers can really get close to the card, we do see that. Winston and the Orisa play that we've seen out of them a few times. Not too much success so far, but maybe here this is the time for it to them to work.
Johnny Robot is extremely low. Abe on that far, causing, and Mallard is taken down by again, finding a way into the back line board, and already it looks to be dire straits for Holy Jalapenos on point A here. Johnny Robot is all alone, hiding in a corner. I don't like that idea because here comes Farah. Oh no, she's got rockets, and you're standing in a corner.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. The Abe doing a great job on fair. Maybe not getting all the damage we normally saw out of him. He split the team up perfectly. Oh, big pick from Mallard. But the split that Abe caused there was allowed Crimson to fall into the backline and get the big picks on the supports.
Climate taken down, maybe too aggressive on that jump. They're going to get a solid recontest here. Here we go. And all the way back goes Undead Battery.
Yeah, Climate now going over to the Sigma. Sigma arrested out on the side. We have Ryan Zarya over on the side of the Jalapenos. Bethcon switching over. Torb only having the ultimate, not switching originally from the first hero. So having that tank, that Reinhardt Earthshatter is going to be massive. We do see the window available here for Bork as well. But Coalescence will be up early here for the side of Undead.
Undead Battery with that Coalescence. Sad, but but the Earth Shatter from Torb only finds a pick on an Impulse from that, and then the Flame Strike kill onto Climate. No tanks left for Undead Battery. Crimson again in the back line, but Mallard responds with a bullet to the head.
Oh, and Demo's caught over here with Abe. If they can get out, that would be pretty big for them. If not, that's going to be a massive stagger. And Abe, though, is going to have this barrage, and they can't just let this Ferret just sit here in the back. They have to keep an eye out and be ready to take this on. And we see Meeples going after it. Needle, do it, my guy. Do it.
That is why he is the all-star Lucio that he is. Love the aggression, but Abe is still somehow managing to hang out behind Mallard, not able to get any connected shots on him. But Mallard does have there's the high noon coming out from Mallard, really zoning off Abe, and Abe is taken down. Rez attempted to come in from Demo, but Johnny Robot says nay. Crimson in the backline again, but he's taken down by Johnny Robot. Torb only finds Seb, and a great recontest has led to yet another fight win from Holy Jalapenos, really set up by some crucial late staggers, or early staggers onto that last fight.
It was. Crimson doesn't have the Reaper ultimate. We've seen Crimson basically just go above them on top of this bridge entrance here on and not really pushing down with the team yet. Now has the Reaper ultimate, and they can combo this here with Impulse's Supercharger. That could be pretty big there, but we have Needle with the beat, can maybe negate a lot of damage, and Torb only is going to be looking for another big shatter here, I'm sure.
And there's the Earth Shatter. He finds 4! Torb only coming up big, showing he plays more than just Torb only. Impressive play from him on that main tank, trying to show up this all-star tank roster from Undead Battery. Huge plays, and Crimson, take a swim.
Wow, and now look at all the ultimates coming online here for the side of the Holy Jalapeno as well. They have the Grav. They're about to get Johnny Robot's Death Blossom. Mallard not close up yet, but they do switch off the pharmacy. We see Abe now going over to the May and Demo over to the Lucio. I think that's a pretty good pick for them here. So now the Mallard's going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage trying to shoot through these double shields. But they need to open up big here. Maybe a Supercharger with the Coalescence to come through.
And there comes the Supercharger and the Coalescence. Boy, you are big-brained indeed. But Johnny Robot takes out the bongos with his equally big brain. But Mallard is taken down by Crimson. Crimson again showing up in the back line. Does go for his own, but we see dueling Death Blossoms, and Johnny Robot comes out on the positive end of that. The Graviton comes in along with the Sigma ult onto Torb only, not finding the kills. Holy Jalapenos trying to settle in here, find the final kills that they need. The Earthshatter comes in, takes them all down. Torb only finishing off this fight. Torb only looking to carry the fight. High noon coming in from Mallard, and there's nothing left that can come back. Ooh, Crimson comes in, and, well, yeah, that.
Wow, an absolute amazing job from Torb only. I think he found like a minimum of at least 3 people every single Earthshatter he had, and Johnny Robot coming in massive in that last fight, cleaning him up on that payload. That shows why Reaper is so strong on these overtime pushes, able to come in and put in so much damage with all of his abilities and be able to reload so quickly. And that is a full hold of full holds for them. The payload just coming around this corner, that's 4 minutes to push that far. I mean, it is a hard point to push through, but 4 minutes to do that and all the momentum. Holy Jalapenos looking in very, very good shape to be able to win on Rialto here.
Holy Jalapenos looking to take this thing to map 8, an unprecedented thing in the Tranquility community. It would be an incredible sight to behold. I am certainly hoping for it, because man, would it be fun. But here we go. We are coming down to the final opportunity for Undead Battery to try to close this out on Holy Jalapenos. Holy Jalapenos have crawled back from a 3-1 deficit, trying to pull this thing back in their favor. Since map 5, they have not dropped a map yet, only drawing on map 6. It's been an impressive run for the Jalapenos, an impressive match from both teams. But right now, the monumental task of closing this fight out before the shiny box of victory, it's going to be tough for the Undead Battery to do it.
It is going to be hard here, but Jalapenos, I mean, just doing a great job holding that first point, but they do have all of this pressure now. They know it's not that hard to push a payload that far, but that's in the back of their head. I mean, they just full held a team here. It can easily happen to them as well. Mallard opened up on the Widowmaker. We don't really have a fire or anything for him to be shooting at. Double shield's going to be hard to get through. Abe over on the Junkrat, Crimson over on the McCree. So as long as they can push through this first point here, I mean, this first little choke and not get booped off the edge, and maybe let Johnny Robot push in a little far forward, but Impers, what a good pull to open up with.
That's a big play there. It's going to really slow down Holy Jalapenos from their advantage. Johnny Robot does take Abe. Going to slow down that ult generation from Abe. Taking that Riptire out is a big thing. But Bork goes down from Climate. Deemel's already at 62% to his window, and we've seen so much damage come out from his window. No reset coming out yet from the Jalapenos, and yes, they finally do decide to back off, let this one go in the favor of Unded Battery. They have 3 minutes 20 seconds, all the time in the world, to really just win one fight.
They did, and we see double DPS switch coming out here on the side of Jalapenos now. Mallard going over to that May, and Johnny Robot going over to the Doomfist. I like that switch, and I like this angle they're taking behind.
Needle with the speed boost, getting everybody in quickly, and the Earthshatter! Earthshatter comes up, takes down Abe, but the lamp comes in, really saves the whole team. Demo again, huge on the Baptiste today. But that wall came up so big for Mallard. Look at all the damage coming in. But Abe finding a way to will this thing back for the Undead Battery. And Seb comes up huge with the Coalescence on Bork. Holy Jalapenos not able to finish it off quite yet, and they go to reset again. So far, Undead Battery getting the job done.
I liked that flank a lot, but the payload wasn't able to be pushed much further here. So Torb only did a lot of work there, but Vethcon needs to get this grab up here pretty quick. That's going to be their major thing. But every time they get one of these ults up, they got to take down that eye field. Demo's eye field was insane there. But as long as they take a fight pretty early on here, maybe a wall from the Mallard could split up the teams pretty well.
A wall from the Mallard definitely would split up the teams here. We see the ult come in, and there goes Johnny Robot again. I would like to see nothing else come out from the Holy Jalapenos if they want to try this thing out. We see the Riptire come in from Abe, not finding anything. And it looks like Holy Jalapenos are kind of soft resetting right now. They're not full resetting. They're just kind of waiting slowly but sure for Johnny Robot to come back. And there's the beat drop. They're coming in really aggressively into the Unded Batteries. There comes the bongos, and it's High Noon. We see High Noon come out not finding anything from Crimson. We see Johnny Robot picked up Abe. And Johnny Robot finds Impulse as well. Johnny Robot on that Doomfist finds Crimson. That's 3 for Johnny Robot. Needle takes out Deeble. Johnny Robot finds a 4th with Seb. And we are going to map 8.
Oh my goodness, this game just can't keep giving us anything better. I mean, you can't honestly, I don't know the script for this ending, but respect to him, because this has been one of the this has been the game of the season by far. Of course, it's in our finals for us, but map 8 coming out now, 3-3 each team. I don't know, man. I just like it. I just like it a lot. This is awesome.
This has been an absolutely incredible match. I think we might have a couple of people looking to take a brief bathroom break here, so I think we're going to take a short break here, just for people to have a moment, collect some water, take a breath before we get to the final map of the series. We're going to do 2 minutes here. Light Rose, what do you think? What do you think of that last map?
First off, I want to say that Overwatch Tranquility is an anime. That's the first thing I want to say. And that was so close. Like, this game is so close. It looks like at this point everybody's pitching in. Like that, I honestly, that map, I can't really point out anybody who just shined above the rest. Everybody worked together in that. I think that's what you strive for.
Absolutely. Johnny Robot finally really showing up on that Doomfist on that last map as well. We've been kind of waiting to see that. It's been a superstar DPS all season. No question in the Harmony tier. That Doomfist has been an absolute terror, especially in the last meta when Doomfist was extraordinarily challenging to deal with. Right now, he's still a bit of a pest, especially when he's in the hands of the capable Johnny Robot. What do you think, Light Rose? We're going to map 8. All the momentum right now seems to have shifted into the hands of the Holy Jalapenos here. Do you think they managed to clutch this thing out?
With the heroes that Holy Jalapenos have played, and how they've started to counter what really has oppressed them. Momentum It's really hard to pick against the Jalapenos right now. Obviously, Undead Battery can still come and win this, but it's really hard to pick against Jalapenos right now.
It's really hard. Booth, what I have to say, this has been insane, absolutely insane from both sides. Do you think the Jalapenos just have this thing with all this momentum right now?
I think they do. I mean, I think this is one of the first maps we've really seen the Jalapenos, their tank line just completely step over the side of Undead. This whole time we've been saying Undead's tanks have been doing great. I think Jalapenos finally swung that back in their favor. And coming into Ilios here, I definitely think this is down to the Jalapenos. I've been with them from the start. I didn't give up when it was 1-3. I ain't giving up now.
Yeah, the Jalapenos have definitely come back with a vengeance, and it's so exciting because we get one more map out of these teams. We go to Ilios, a map that honestly you see such a variety of comps coming in. You know, you have a lot more of a brawly point in the form of Lighthouse, then you have kind of a weird environmental point similar to like Nepal's Sanctum with Well, and then last but not least, you see Ruins, and Ruins is kind of a crapshoot. You can see a lot of different things there. What do you think?
I hope we get to see some ruins. We've seen a lot of Widow battles tonight, which we haven't seen all season. And I think if we're ever going to see it, that's going to be our map for it. We might. I also am interested to see what's going to happen with Well here. I mean, the Halt Hook's always been really strong. We saw, I think it was the Holy Jalapenos running the Roadhog. Maybe this is a good time to pull it out again on these teams. But also, I've always seen, especially in my comp games, you always see Wrecking Balls being pretty good on Ilios. It's one of Wrecking Ball's best maps. And you got to like Torb Only there for that. Torb Only coming in massive last game. I think production assistant messaging me saying at least 5 shatters coming out from Torb Only on the Reinhardt. And Torb Only can maybe come in and clean up here on the Wrecking Ball as well.
Yeah, Torb Only has been playing out of his mind. Honestly, like we came into this thing, we were talking about the DPS duel, and the DPS have popped off, but the emergence we're seeing from Demol and Torb Only in this match has been very notable, I would say.
Oh, incredibly noticeable. This has been, we were talking all about the DPS. The DPS has done great. I mean, Abe, Torb Only, especially Johnny Robot popping off on the Doomfist on the end of that last point there on Rialto. And now I think it's time for everybody to shine. Holy Jalapenos have to be in a very high spirits from coming back here, but Undead Batteries can't be sitting here and be ready to show that aggression we saw early on here in this game. And I think both teams are really going to be stepping it up here. I am incredibly excited. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how we're even going to cast it. I just want to watch this, to be honest.
It's just the last match. It's the last map of the season for both these teams. There's nothing else to play for. This is where you just pick yourself up by your bootstraps and you clutch out one more map. That's the best thing you can do, is just have as much fun as possible and just grind this thing out. It's been a grind all night. Both teams trading blows back and forth. All the momentum seems to be back in Holy Jalapenos favor, but that hasn't stopped Undead Battery in the past from clutching out victories that maybe they seem to be out of reach for them. And right now, Undead Battery, the team who was on the brink of death, came back from the dead and is now 1 point away from the championships. The Holy Jalapenos, who started the season 0-2, finding their rhythm with the MVP. Here we go. Map 8.
Well, watch out for Torb Only. He's going to try to boot through the wall coming in from behind here.
But they're wise to his tricks, and Torb Only not really able to get a... Oh, he finds 2! Somehow!
Are you serious?
I have no idea. I have no idea how he got away with that. He finds another Torb Only!
What? This is madness!
Torb Only!
I'm leaving, by the way. I can't deal with this man!
Torb Only is finding so much... Torb Only is doing everything right now for the Holy Jalapenos. Huge plays.
Goodness. 5 picks there, up to 72% on the ult charge already. That was a lot of map. Oh my goodness.
The Wrecking Ball specialist has been unaccounted for by Holy Undead Battery, and they haven't been able to do... they might have just dealt with it. Torb Only is in bad state. I mean, he is down, and Undead Battery is going to look to swoop in on this point very quickly. Crimson finding Needle, playing a little too high on the windmill there. And right now, both teams just kind of jockeying around, looking for an opportunity. Right now, Undead Battery needs to get a lot more aggressive. They have, unfortunately for them, guess who's back but Torb Only. Mallard finds a pick onto Crimson, but Abe does take out Mallard in return. Abe looking for some more value on that Doomfist. He's not able to get anything yet, but he finds Beth, brings her extremely low with that immortality field, keeping her out just at the very end. Here comes the bombs, and the Beth bomb finds Kuchikopi. Big kill from Beth. They're trying to take out that point presence. We see so much damage still coming in from Undead Battery, but they're not able to get any kills. We see Impers dropping the scrap gun, not able to find anything. Holy Jalapenos looking really good right now. They're able to stabilize on a fight that just seemed lost.
I was about to cut in and say, man, even if they lose this fight, they've been having the clock tick up so high, but they ended up coming around and winning it. And now Mallet down with the seismic slam here soon, and both support ults also for the side of Holy Jalapenos. Crimson's got to have a massive bob here to come in. That's really all they got besides the supercharger. This is last fight. We see Impers now going over to the ball as well, maybe trying to put some of the pressure back here into the Mallard. He's just really got free aim in the back.
It's been big so far. Here goes High Noon coming out from Mallard, looking for the big kills that could win this map for them right now. Bethcon finds the first kill onto Bob, not able to get any value from Bob. We see the Doomfist coming in from Johnny Robot, not able to get anything, but Impers has fallen for Undead Battery. Right now, both teams trading blows, looking for an opportunity. We see Seb takes down Needle, but Torb only finds yet another environmental kill. Seems to be a consistent trend for him. And we do see 2 more kills though for Undead Battery, but Torb only still managing to clutch this thing out. Crimson is one of the last hopes right now, along with Impers on the Wrecking Ball. We do see the Beth Bomb coming in, takes out Impers and takes the point.
Oh my, that was just Torb Only's map. That is the game every Wrecking Ball player dreams of. All of the boops you could want, just dominating the factor. I think in that last fight, got 2 mines out. That's just madness. You've got to really, 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 really like the chances of being here. And not going to, we're going to go to Lighthouse, which again, another fantastic point here for Torb Only to be playing this Wrecking Ball. So we see Abe going over to the Reaper here, and then we see something we haven't seen yet over on the side of the batteries. We see a dive composition coming out on the side of things. We have a Diva and we have a Winston. That's interesting. We see Demel over on the brig. You got to assume that's just assuming that they're going to see a Wrecking Ball coming their way. That's the only reason they would run that here. But Torb Only and Bethcon are actually going to run the Rhine Zarya instead.
They're trying to find ways to deal with it right now. And I do like the change over to Rhine Zarya. It's like a big brain adjustment right there. They knew they were going to switch to deal with that. The Rhine Zarya is really good on this point. There's so much value here on a Reinhardt on this point. We see that Undead Batteries is trying to come in and take this point away. Holy Jalapenos has point presence. Johnny Robot dives in on the Doomfist, not finding anything. Kuchikopi brought down by Bork. That's a big early kill here, losing that beef from Kuchikopi. And Undead Battery, unfortunately, not able to recontest. And it looks like Holy Jalapenos gets the ever critical first take as Bethcon charging up, getting a ton of damage in on a Demel and Impers. And Abe as well. Bethcon putting a lot of damage on this, trying to take her team to the championship right here.
Yeah, we see switches now coming over on the side of Undead. I do like this, going over to the double shield here with the Orisa and the Sigma, keeping the rest of the team up with them. I see Demel now over on the Baptiste as well. I do like the switch. I think that gives them a little bit of advantage if they're able to push into point here before they're able to get any ultimates up. Torb Only and Bethcon both getting pretty high here in their ults, but a great wall to pull Torb Only over.
Great wall for Torb Only. Impers does pick up Torb Only, but Johnny Robot does get a couple kills of his own. It does look like both teams are trading this off right now. Demel's down. Both healers down actually for Undead, so nothing left for Undead to do except Lee. And it looks like Holy Jalapenos now 50% of the way to the championship.
Yeah, 50% of the way there, and they have ult. Mallard's gonna have the high noon. Johnny Robot getting very late stagger there on Crimson as well. That's very unfortunate on the side of Undead. Bethcon's gonna have the grab here as well. We've seen all the highlight submissions of them doing space jams. I think we're gonna see another space jam here coming up for them. And also maybe a good chance for Torb Only to get some more ult charts swinging into that grab as well.
The Graviton Surge is going to be a crucial ult here. They could put themselves into one fight territory. Let's see how long this fight is drawn out. We see High Noon from Mallard on the high ground. Oh, they do recognize it right away, though. They're not able to avoid it. Torb Only finds Demel, though. Seb finds Torb Only. Bethcon picks off Kuchikopi. They're blowing ults into this fight, and it looks like Undead or Holy Jalapenos right now are looking to clutch it out. They are 10% of the way away from taking this championship right now. Pulling off the 3-1 comeback here. Is it over? We do see Kuchikopi trying to get back on the point.
He's got a touch.
Get there in time. He can't quite get there. He's
the punch! The punch!
And it's over! Holy Jalapenos proves
God.
Holy Jalapenos too spicy for the Harmony tier. They take the
Wow.
championship.
Wow. Congratulations to the Holy Jalapenos. A job well done. A well-deserved game for them, coming back 3-1. I don't think anybody really besides me, I'm going to saw that one coming after those games, and Torb only getting the well-deserved play of the game. Congratulations also to the side of Undead Batteries, finishing second here for the fantastic season for them and an amazing playoff run. But all comes down to the Holy Jalapenos there at the end. A well-deserved victory and your Tranquility Harmony tier champions.
Incredible work. Congratulations, Holy Jalapenos. Started the season 0-2, moved on, carried it on all the way to the championship from the number 4 seed. The MVP, Mallard, leading his team. But honestly, you got to sit and ask right now, is he really the MVP of this match? What do you think?
I don't know if I'd say he's the MVP of this match for sure. I think the whole side of them were doing great. I don't know how only after those last 2 points there. I mean, just carrying through Alto and obviously carrying through those 4. Definitely the finals MVP, like a regular season finals MVP. Both of them going over to the Holy Jalapenos, very well deserved on their side.
I'd like to nominate my finals MVP, Torb only.
Yeah, we'll accept the nomination. Mine's Yeti for actually casting for 3 hours straight and still having a voice.
Like, dude, that's hard.
Hey, it's a joy to watch these guys play. That's all I care about. And really, what tonight was all about the emergence of different star players. We've seen Mallard and Johnny Robot all season, but tonight was the night of Torb only. The man just absolutely showed up in the time at the optimal time that their team needed, and it made all the difference. And Holy Jalapenos comes back from the 3-1 deficit when everything looked to be against them. But hey, you have to give a ton of credit to Undead Battery. Look where they were in week 2. Look where they are now. It's incredible what they've done to get to this point, all the way to map 8 in the finals.
It's fantastic job again for them again. That was wonderful. I've never seen, first off, I've never casted, but I've never really seen a game this great in this tier. Like in any tier of any game ever, this was the most fun I've ever had watching. Definitely the most fun I've had casting. Yeah,
it was an absolute joy. The Harmony tier ends with the Holy Jalapenos on top. It's a really mind-blowing way to season here. Just tons of credit from both sides. And right now, actually, it looks like we are going to be bringing in our commissioner of the Tranquility community, Cavalier. He's going to be coming in to have a little bit of a finish here to the end of the match. So we bring in Cavalier. Welcome, Commissioner.
Hello. How is everybody?
Recovering.
Tired.
It was a heck of a match, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. What a nail biter going right down to the wire there. That was pretty exciting. And congrats to the Holy Jalapenos. Coming back from that deficit was pretty impressive. But, shout out to Undead Battery. Like you mentioned in the cast, but what happened with them over this season, it's insane that they ended up where they did. And that really goes to, the character of a lot of people on that team and, fighting back and making something happen. And that's kind of what this is all about. It's about getting better, and it's about, persevering and working as a team. And yeah, I mean, you can't ask for a better final than that.
You really can't. I mean, it's honestly one of the best I think we've seen definitely in the Tranquility community's young history. It's going to be a lot of fun moving forward. I know we've talked about season 4 at length, Cav, but I kind of want to put a button on season 3 with you here. We still have one final left to go, and that's Commit, Angry Face, taking on the underdog Eclipse. I know you have a vested interest in the Discord tier, being a Discord tier commissioner director, but what do you think we're looking at that match coming up here next week?
Every time we start talking about this, when Eclipse is involved, it's always, oh, this is where Eclipse is going to end. This is where Eclipse is going to end. And they've proved us wrong every time. And I think this is obviously going to be their biggest test, but in my heart, I'm saying, hey,
Why not, right?
beat the undefeated team, the team that's just been a wrecking ball all season. Um, you know, but commit, man. Jeez, like they've done everything right, so it's one of those, right? So it's a tough go. I mean, definitely you have to. If you're putting money down, you're putting it down on commit, but I wouldn't count out Eclipse. So
Yeah. Anything can happen in the Tranquility community. Tranquility is an anime. We all so just just an impressive thing. Last thing I want to talk about here is the All-Star matches coming up. We have All-Star Harmony tier match coming up on Sunday, and again the All-Star match for the Discord tier coming up the following Sunday. That is on the 23rd. I'm sorry, the 22nd, and we'll be wrapping the season with the Iris podcast on the 23rd. So a lot still to look forward to as we wrap up season 3. Any final words, Cav?
I mean, we've had our bumps this season, and especially in my tier, the Discord tier. But you know what? We're really trying to fix that coming in the next season, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with now the 3 tiers coming up, and yeah, and I just want to say thank you, especially to everybody that contributes to this community. It's amazing that we can all come together, and a lot of people donate their time to make this happen for everybody. Everybody in this channel right now, myself, Booth, Juke, Lightrose, SkiFreeYeti, all the casters, all the producers, moderators, everybody, and I just want to say thank you, because without you, this doesn't happen. And yeah, like I said, I'm just really excited that we keep growing, we keep getting better and better every day, and yeah, I think that kind of says it all for me.
Well, thanks very much for joining us, Cav. I'm gonna go ahead and now, again, make sure to tune in on Sunday for the Harmony tier All-Star game. And then next Wednesday, we bring you Commit taking on Eclipse. It's going to be a lot of fun over the next 2 weeks. Please be sure to tune in, twitch.tv/OW Tranquility. If you're looking for more information on the Tranquility community, please hit ! Discord in the chat, and you can always take a look at what we have to offer you there. But for Booth, Lightrose, and Cavalier, and also our wonderful producer and Twitch team coordinator, Juke, I'm SkiFreeYeti. We will see you all on Sunday. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.